you guys were a group of you guys were on the airship known as the Adventurer. You had just spotted the ship you were looking for, the Morkoth, and descended down, fighting the Kraken cult, and working to rescue the Storm Giant King. Uh, you had some rather nasty spellcasters fighting against you, um, but you did manage to defeat them. And while you were exploring the ship and taking some time, identifying some items and pulling the bonds off the Storm King, something rather nasty from the depths, or from what you had actually been told before, was coming in through a portal to the elemental plane of from the elemental plane of water. An ancient kraken. It wrapped its tentacles around the ship and proceeded to attack the group of you that it could reach. Rather nasty fight ensued. You managed to cut down a couple of the tentacles in your effort to escape your fates. Unfortunately, the rather valiant barbarian ranger beast was pulled under the depths and eaten. However, thanks to the Storm King, the rest of you were actually able to make it out alive, transporting yourselves to the Maelstrom, which is where we left off. At this point, Aki kind of drops to the ground. He's breathing heavily. He still looks a bit startled after being rescued from off the water, looking at the rest of you. And the Storm King just lets the rest of you guys down as thundering footsteps are approaching the area of the Maelstrom that you guys have appeared in, which is essentially that central chamber once more, the one that you came to in the first place.
Our pins are probably glowing, right?
Yeah, they would have been glowing because of beasts. You set that all up.
That sure is. No, the beast's not there.
You currently have an eagle with you, a giant eagle.
Talon is also counting
Goes back to Bill.
heads. Where's Beast?
Does anyone know what happened?
He used this is Dara. He used what looked like a stick that exploded on one of the tentacles, completely destroying the tentacle. But it looked like it did a lot of damage to him.
Because I don't think Talon has a pin.
She doesn't?
I don't think.
Not one that glows, I don't think, yeah.
Well, no. Everybody who has a pin, they glow now. Fader paid for that.
Yeah. And you guys were, since the party that went into Avernus was away for 3 months, even though it was 2 days for them. Yeah, all that stuff managed to get done within that time period.
Does Grick have a pin?
But I think everybody in the Iron Roses has a pin, doesn't they?
I can't remember who she. I know. Maybe she bought I think she dropped a bunch of cash for it. I just can't remember if Talon has one.
Well, if they're basically, from what I understand, everybody that's on the Iron Roses ledger has one.
Then Talon would have one.
So like Shiori, Phaedra, Beast, Biddy, Fawn, Ralthor. The only person in the party that doesn't have one is Dara.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Dara is the one that doesn't have one.
Fader will fix that. Okay. I just couldn't remember if Talon had one and if it was going. And if it is a yes.
I'd imagine
So-
she has one.
So he blew himself up, is what you're saying.
That's what I saw, yes.
Oh yeah, Aki doesn't. Actually, wait. Did you include Aki in the Iron Roses as well, or I forget? Because I don't have him listed on the membership roster, but I also realized I didn't have someone else listed on the membership roster that I knew was a member, so it might have been I
feel
forgot.
like she included like Bob and Gary and Avery.
Yeah,
so
Bob and Gary and Avery on the list, and Bethany was, but Bethany's dead, so.
Yeah, then yeah, she would have put Aki on there.
And
so
Beast
Aki.
is dead too. So yeah, Aki is a member, so Aki has a glowing pin. But yeah, Dara is the only one in your party then that does not have a glowing pin. At this point, the form of Sarissa appears at the top of the stairs, and she gasps when she sees the Storm King, who grins up at her, and she says, "Father!" and just comes rushing down, narrowly avoiding crushing the group of you, but you guys are very small compared to giants. And she hugs her father tightly.
Yeah. Looks like making sure Gambo's alright.
Do we see the other sisters around?
Roll a perception check.
Yeah, Talon's gonna look for that shit too.
Yeah, you see you basically look up from where Sarissa ran down from, and you see both of them are up there with odd expressions on their faces. They look surprised, and they look. Well, it's really difficult to tell how they look without an insight check.
Talon would like to look for Dragon Bitch and do an insight check.
Talon does not see Dragon Bitch in this room or up the stairs.
Oh, good to know.
Aki kind of holds his side at this point and shakes his head.
She'll go ahead and do an insight check to read the room.
They look sorrowful, as if they the two at the top of the stairs look like they are ashamed to come down and face their father immediately, because they feel like they've done something wrong, they were led astray, that sort of expression on their faces. Like they're I can't really put it into, I have a hard time putting it into words. I know there's an actual term for it, but I can't find the word for it.
No, you're good. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Forlorn.
Forlorn, thank you. But Aki is just like, holding his ribs and muttering, I can't believe all of that. Those two still got away.
Hmm?
He's
Got
like,
away?
trying to bandage up what bludgeoning wounds he received. And he looks up. Well, Linda and Ekmar. They got away. I didn't find their bodies in that room. There's some of their lackeys.
Hold the phone. Walks over. How do you know the name of those two things that we were fighting?
He's just giving you a weird expression at this point. And, like, he looks around. He glances at Adler for a moment, kind of blinking, and looks over at Shiori. It's like, what? What do you... Shiori, you told me that you talked to Ekmar at that party months ago that you were at. And Adler, you were telling me how you talked to you met Ekmar at the when you were escorting those making that escort run down to Baldur's Gate before the storm hit.
What?
Aki's just staring around at the group of you.
Are you okay, Aki?
What?
Did you hit your head too hard?
What?
You need me to help you heal that better again?
Aki just kind of rubs the side of his head. What? Is this memory thing that I've been hearing about? How do you guys not remember the two people we were just fighting? He's just staring at the group of you, kind of in shock. It's like, And then he remembers, but how the fuck do I remember if you don't?
Okay. Out of character. Do y'all really not remember, or
No,
is something?
I don't.
No, there's never been a conversation like this.
Because out of character, I know what she's talking about.
I don't.
The names not ring a bell for me.
Well, not the names, but the situations do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, well, other characters back then.
Yeah. Because the original group at the heist is what is referencing for Shiori, and then Adler is referencing the Feywild group, the one that went to Dragonspear Castle.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Yeah, I picked up on that, but you know.
I don't remember getting names.
And
though.
one of you did get a book that revealed two names that were not familiar to them.
Oh yeah, back in character. Give me my book back.
Fun. We'll give it back.
Thank you.
She'll probably be asleep for a while still. More likely, but we do need to get messages to Phaedra because we just vanished.
Yeah, Phaedra must be really worried right now.
Well, she looks like she will be.
Well, some of us managed to vanish more than others.
She points to the pin. If we're not there and she sees this and no one tells her, she's going to panic.
Mm.
Can you deliver the message of our loss?
I can't. I don't have it. Kirk has it. Raise hand. I have sending, but if she's asleep, I don't know if that'll work. I can wait until she wakes up. Go ahead, Judy.
Well, we're all pretty beat. What time of day is it?
It
We
is.
hell down here.
Well, it from last thing you were at, it was still at least midday on the 25th of Midwinter. And at this point, like, you know, the shocking conversation you just had with Aki, you start hearing filtering conversation from the two storm giants, and you hear something about, yeah, there was this dragon that had taken giant form and it infiltrated us, and she turned my sisters against. Well, I thought it was your memory, and she's like still holding her brother, but she got away. And we've been trying to organize a hunt to go after her at some point. And Storm Giant King's just like patting her on the shoulder. It's okay, I'm here now, and these people, and he gestures at you guys, rescued me off the away from that cult. And Sarissa just kind of like looks down at the rest of you and smiles a bit. Says, see, I knew I was right about the group of you. Although, she kind of narrows her eyes a bit. Are there more of you?
And less at the same time.
I'm sorry if I don't recognize you right off. I just know that you're the same people. More or less.
We did lose one in the efforts to rescue your father.
She
Another
nods.
is indisposed. Apparently. I don't know.
And then Kirk's like, Gamma Gamma, what's up? Dang it.
Oh, yeah, no. They're all also close to the moving on part.
Darn, I missed my train.
Don't know what you're talking about. Don't care.
Well, the train missed me, I guess, is a better way of putting it.
Well, if Aki was unable to find those two bodies, they're off somewhere. My guess would be that they're probably with this dragon.
Aki just kind of looks at the rest of you. I doubt that. I don't see how if you can't even remember them, then it's probably the same reason why no one remembers. Well, no one except for certain people remember Jade.
Ah, yes. I feel like I missed a bit, but that would make sense.
So this is more of the ripples, is what you're saying. This loss of information.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
Do we have any idea what's causing it?
Caleb.
And Galen.
Yeah, Galen's most likely culprit. Aunt says.
Rhiannon had some information about. She said something about a prison plane or something causing a. I don't know. She talks a lot.
Prison plane.
Carceri, I think she called it.
Well, wonder why anybody would want to go there. Maybe they got trapped there somehow, or maybe somebody sent them there.
And I think somebody's sending people there is what she was getting at. I don't know. She talks a lot. I don't listen fully.
At this point, Sarissa bends down to the group of you and says, I don't really know what you guys are talking about here, and maybe it's none of my business. You've rescued my father, and we owe you a great debt. There are some things in the treasury my father and I would like for you to have. And she looks at her father, and her father nods, and she claps her hands together loudly. And, several other guards come back. They've all seen that the Storm Giant is back, but they've been respectful rather than approaching their king, because Sarissa was there. And now that, they're being summoned, they come forward and they kneel briefly before the king. What will you have us do? It's like, these fine small folk should be rewarded handsomely for all of their excellent deeds in the name of our people. So we're taking them to the treasury, and they can take whatever they think they can carry. And when I say that, bear in mind that I usually don't care when it comes to bag of holding, I usually don't bother with encumbrance. In this case, I will mark down an encumbrance on on any bags of holding you guys might have, just so that you don't have a ridiculous amount of things in there.
As a magic item, I want to find a portable hole and then take everything.
Do you accept escorts to the treasury at this time?
Sure, I guess. Right.
All right. So you leave the king and his daughters, because as you're escorted off, the other two come down the stairs to finally, confront their father and whatnot. They seem to be more ashamed to be anywhere near the two of you. I'm sorry, the group of you who, were putting them in their place before, sort of thing.
I'm also dropping the fly spell.
All right. So, you're brought to a rather large room, the royal treasury. And it starts off rather unusually. You see 34 rusty anchors that are dangling from iron chains, bolted to a 50-foot high ceiling. One above each full 10-foot square. It looks like the storm giants have salvaged a bunch of these from the ocean floor. These are extremely heavy-looking anchors. But it looks like they're part of possibly some kind of trap device that is disarmed when the guards escort you guys to the treasury. Let's see what we have here. This room holds 3 crates, 2 barrels, a massive sea chest, and 2 anemone chests.
Anemone chests?
And
So it's like
anemone
sea
chests.
anemone?
Basically, yeah. What I'm going to allow is you get to open. Let's see.
Loot crates.
You get to open half. You open and take half of the contents of these things. Decide now if you just want to, pull things in, or if you want to look into each of them first. But basically, to keep you guys from taking a ridiculous amount of treasure, other than the poundage thing, is just to say that you can take. Just decide which 4 items which 4 of these things you wish to take and be described to. It's like it can.
I mean, to be fair, we might probably look at all of them. And then
just see what's in there.
Okay.
And then, I mean, unless y'all want to do rando picky, I don't know. I would like to see what we're dealing with, just in general, would be nice.
Yeah, figuring out what we could have would be better
Yeah.
than just randomly.
Well, I'm okay with using restraint, but I would like to see what to choose.
Sorry.
basically looky no touchy, then figure out what we want to touch.
Yeah.
Okay. So, somebody wish to start writing stuff down. I know I might talk a little fast, but
Hold up. Let me grab my journal 1 second.
Okay.
I was not prepared.
Let's get the pen and paper.
Yeah, everybody start writing in case we miss something. Oh, where the fuck is my Phaedra journal?
Where the fuck is any...
Phaedra's not here. Use Talon.
I don't have a Talon journal!
That was very talented.
I am staring through the internet.
yeah, I'd stack it for you if I could.
It's the thing we don't have webcams.
Oh, that was a good one. I like that one.
Fluffers.
I usually don't like them, but I like that one.
Okay.
Maybe you don't usually like them.
I mean exactly what I said.
Wow.
Okay.
There's no counting for taste.
Ow.
Jeez. Loot. Okay.
It's okay to be wrong.
Like I said, I was originally gonna do the whatever you could, counting by weight, and then I realized that, the bag of holding takes 500, can only take 500 pounds typically, although so then stretch it to a couple thousand just so that, for story reasons, that, like that time that you transported all those statues back.
Yeah.
But yeah, but normally it's only supposed to be 500 pounds.
Did you say that there was going to be like 4 items in a chest?
I said basically the room contains 8 crates, 8 assorted crates, barrels, 1 massive huge chest, and 2 an enemy chest. Basically 3 crates, 2 barrels, a massive chest, huge. It's big enough that you could probably fit in the lock, Will. Personally, your whole body. And 2 an enemy chests.
Dream come true.
You can take any. Basically, you can loot up to 4 of these particular items. Instead of mixing and matching items from each, basically you get to pick which 4 you want. Because that'll basically be, the spoil of riches, and probably won't necessarily fit with what you can actually carry and fit into your bags. But I'm gonna allow it just as fun times sort of thing. Don't. It's not like if you get into if you wind up getting to a dragon horde, we will talk again about this. But for right now, this is what you can. This will include.
Expect to be able to fit a dragon in the bag of holding.
No, I'm also talking about a dragon's horde. You couldn't fit an entire dragon's horde in your bag of holding either.
Oh yeah.
You chop the dragon into pieces.
There you go.
And even then, it said 500 pounds is usually the upper limit of a bag of holding.
We'll just have to take the bones out of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you ready with your pencils or typing or whatever you wish to do?
Oh, good.
The first crate holds 6 folded, giant-sized rugs made from strips of soft kelp. Each rug is 20 feet square, weighs 250 pounds, and you think is only worth about 250 gold each. The second crate holds some kind of strange apparatus that's bigger than you, but looks like it's designed to hold a gnome or 2. It's got these little claws on it. It's black. It looks like it has some sort of boiler. It's very strange. It's hard to describe exactly what it is. But Aki's looking at it and going, huh, what is that? Some kind of submarine?
Apparatus.
Yeah, I know what that is.
An apparatus of Quellish, yes. Or the apparatus of Quellish, depending on your...
Mm-hmm.
The third crate contains hundreds of trinkets recovered from the seafloor, tribute from various sea elf tribes that pledge fealty to the Storm King. The trinkets include everything from worthless baubles to fine statuary and jewelry plundered from shipwrecks. The total weight of this tribute is only 100 pounds, and its total value, you think, is about 10,000 gold. Moving on.
Then the jewelry.
Both of the barrels are filled with exquisite wine, worth about 2,500 gold each. But they weigh 2,500 pounds. Basically, it's a gold a pound of wine.
You fancy shit.
Mm-hmm. Now, the sea chest. It's 12 feet long, 9 feet tall, and 9 feet deep, with a lid shaped like a half barrel. The large padlock that hangs from its latch is too big to be picked using thieves' tools. However, Will could probably squeeze himself into it. Thankfully, he doesn't actually have to, as the chest is opened up for the group of you. The chest itself contains dozen of smaller, looks like human-made, chests that are unlocked and contain booty retrieved from the seafloor. Each of these small chests contains a mixture of gold and silver and platinum and copper all mixed together. It's hard to tell how much each of them contain, but it looks like there's a lot. And there are other strange items that you can't identify at a glance, but you suspect are magical items scattered amongst the bottom of this chest. There is finally the 2 enemy chests. The first of the enemy chests contains 6 grapefruit-sized pink pearls, each of which is worth 500 gold. The second of these anemone chests contains 6 potions of giant size in purple and green coral vials for small and medium creatures. You think the vials are only worth 25 gold each, though. Now, what 4 of these things strike your fancy?
I'm gonna say definitely the big one with the golden magical items. I'm gonna
Alright.
throw that one
Yeah.
for discussion. If anybody else disagrees, I think that's a good one.
Yeah,
I don't think we're ever
there's
gonna
gonna be
agree on that one.
there's gonna be
Yeah.
a lot of rolling involved in that because
Yeah.
each of those 12 chests is a 3d6 times 100 worth of gold in
Which is
random
a lot of
coinage.
gold.
Yeah.
In random coinage, so it's like, it's got more, and it's
Yes.
like some of them have platinum pieces, but you can decide what
Yes,
you want
it's-
in there.
It would still be a lot of gold.
Now,
matter
would
what.
anybody like a handout to keep track of all this, or would you like to use your bag of holding handout? Or wait, doesn't Shuttle have that bag of holding?
Yeah, Phaedra has it.
Phaedra, that's what I meant to say. Phaedra.
I mean, I can put it in there if you want, but Phaedra's got the
How about I
bag.
give you guys a special bag, special handout for this?
Let's think about this in a smart way. The
Mhm.
apparatus of Wells could probably hold a little bit of this.
I'm curious. Yeah, I want to hear what
Now,
everybody else
who
is
wants to take charge of editing this?
Oh boy, I'm not a quick typer.
Oh, I can. Just give it to me. 'Cause
Alright.
I've already got the other bag of holding.
I just want to make sure it's listed under it's listed as Storm King Treasure, and I didn't put it under any category yet. I just want to have it sitting there.
Got it.
The 6 potions of giant size might not be a bad thing to have.
Yeah.
Just
That
in
could be
general,
useful, yeah.
because you never know when you might want to be larger.
I don't know. I kind of want to. This is just me because I'm sentimental. I kind of want to hear what Quentin wants because it was his character that died on this mission.
What would
But in your character, you would have no idea what Quentin might want.
But out of character,
Out of character.
we can know what he wants.
That's not a mystery.
Yeah,
What
but
would Beast want? Then what would
If
Beast
you all
want?
think we might be able to hear his voice
Yeah.
from beyond the grave.
Hmm.
I think I hear something.
Yeah, I think I hear something. He's speaking to us from beyond the grave.
Quentin! If you hear my voice, walk towards it.
who's Quentin?
What's this called when he's dead? He's going to reincarnate.
You know what Beast is worried about?
Mm.
Quincy
Yeah, there's a cat alone on a boat.
with Shuttle.
Oh,
No,
With a
it's
bunch
not
of-
alone. It has Phaedra.
With a bunch of strangers.
with Phaedra.
no! It's there.
With Phaedra, Phaedra's still there.
My cat's hungry.
Might be
I mean,
asleep, but
Sleeping in a sunbeam, unaware.
Yeah. Oh, Quincy. I forgot about Quincy.
Really? Did you actually
Forgot
forget
about the
about
giant cat.
How did you not forget
You
about
forgot
Quincy?
about the
I
place.
have had a long week.
Yes, ma'am.
Listen.
Listen. God damn. Okay.
So you're all
Okay.
you're all agreed on the big on the giant chest.
Yes, the big
So-
one.
Basically, what you want to write down for that, because we can figure out the rest of this later, is 12 chests that each contain 3d6 times 100 gold in mixed coins.
3d6 times 1200 gold?
Times 100 gold
100 gold.
in
okay.
mixed coinage. So that so that alone there is a minimum of that's the minimum of 300 gold per chests, 12 chests. So yeah, that's a good amount of gold right there, and that.
Don't we have like millions in Fon's bag?
That's Fawn's money. He spent it on
Yes, fine,
rebuilding
money,
the
not
castle.
yours.
And
Sure.
He also not sharing it.
Why do you think that coin?
Quiet, dead man, quiet.
Oh my god.
The more interruptions, the longer.
Back to mute.
Oh!
The amount of times that his characters die, should we always call him Dead Man?
Oh,
That's me.
guys, come on.
Fucking pin my Roll20 nickname is Cannon Fodder. It's not only here, Chris. Don't worry about it.
Oh god.
It
No,
happens everywhere.
I know it does. I mean, it happened with Tobias' game too. Had nothing to do with that one. I wasn't even playing in that one.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was rough. Okay.
No, that last step in that game though, I was listening in and it was so funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
He was standing there, and the thing finally lifted up and killed him.
Click, click, click. Yeah, I'm gonna stay here. It's fine.
Sorry.
this is fine.
Anyway, there's also an assorted amount of magical items, which I will roll for afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't want to distract you with the cool magical items you're getting. What other 3 of those things do you wish to get?
Maybe the pink pearls are 500 gold each. So
And there's 6 of them, so...
I think I'm intrigued by this apparatus.
yeah, that I'm thinking.
The apparatus.
So the apparatus qualish is number 2, okay?
No. We're just talking here.
Oh, okay.
We're just talking.
Yeah.
Here's my way of thinking. The tavern, it does require more weird things.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Very much so.
I mean, we have to stand out as the most weird tavern in town.
So wait, the question is, how many kobolds could fit in this thing?
Well, if it's built by gnomes, and I think it fits usually 2, what is it, at least 2 gnomes? It can fit at least 2 kobolds. Let me see how big that is. I can never remember. I just remember it's a gnomish device. But it's also considered magical, which means it might size change to fit just a certain amount of people. Let me check.
I think that would
Two
be fun.
giants.
Oh god.
Well, just looking at that, I'm also thinking, just because of the tavern, having 2 barrels of very, very expensive wine might not
Yeah,
be.
I was thinking.
Ooh, that's a
about
good
that
call
too.
too.
Remember, each barrel is considered 1 item
Yeah.
of the 4
Okay.
items you're allowed.
But I mean, like that's still 2,500 GP of wine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
it's
it was
still
one
good.
barrel.
Like really good wine.
100 GPs.
GPs.
I mean, taking 1 barrel, that is still gonna have some decent wine for a bit.
So I kind of am along the same thought, and this is just I'm thinking out loud. I'm curious about the potions of giant size, like how that could come into play, like in the future as well, like how that could be useful to
So,
us. I don't know though.
now you're on the line of planning
So,
ahead. and we
by
can
the way,
do
the
that.
apparition of Koalish is considered a large object. I think it could fit 2, maybe 3 gnome-sized people or 1 normal-sized person. So it could probably fit, like, in terms of your party, it could fit Will and Biddy quite easily, together, partly squashed up. It could fit two of the kobolds. But it could fit only, like, 1 of the regular of you.
Okay.
Oh, I could redress it as a badger. Have it-
Badger, 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 badger.
Hmm. Oh. So the sea chest was the money and the magical items.
Correct.
Yes.
One.
That's one we got.
This one, sure.
Yeah,
That's just one thing, though.
correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Each of the 2 barrels is one thing separate.
Mhm.
So we keep that in mind. we're set on
The apparatus. Is everybody good with the apparatus?
Yeah, we need more crazy stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
So that's number 2.
We're set on.
So that's second crate. Crate apparatus of question mark because I
Well,
don't know how to spell
right?
it.
I have no idea how to spell it either. I just kind of wrote
I'll-
random letters.
Yeah. Underline.
I was like, app crawl.
Okay.
Well, it's actually a Swedish word. It means digging.
Oh really?
It's
No,
got-
I lied.
I was about to say it's
Oh,
got.
you fucker!
You motherfucker!
You fucker! How dare?
How dare you?
Oh, because
There's
you're
two more
far
items.
away and can't hit me.
Yes,
Wallace.
2 more.
Yes.
It's just called apparatus of the crab in the in the
Oh.
compendium.
Okay, we'll put apparatus of the crab. Parentheses. Blah.
So
Okay.
there's 2 more things we can take.
Yeah.
We were looking at the giant size ones and the pink pearl. Orbs.
There you guys go.
Oh. Cool.
Hi there.
Oh, that looks interesting.
Oh.
That'll be fun.
So
Okay. So we're not looking at the rugs. No.
Yeah.
Does anybody
Alright.
want the rugs?
Screw the rugs.
No.
yes, you're not in a game with Clay, so. I think of all the characters any of us know, I think Clay is the only one who possibly might want the rugs.
I'm not really thinking about the trinkets either, because technically the trinkets would be worth less than the pink pearls grown in Montero.
Well, the trinkets and tribute, which is £100 worth of stuff, is total value of 10,000 gold.
Yeah. So the pearls would actually be worth. Oh,
Actually, no, it'd be worth less, wouldn't they?
it would be worth less.
Okay, because those were only 3,000.
Yep. Yeah.
That's true. So if we're looking monetarily, the trinkets would be better.
Mhm.
It
Is
would
there-
take a bit longer to try and sell them though.
This is
Yeah.
true. Is there any?
Basically,
I'm not-
basically, here's what you could do with that. Did you guys actually buy the building across the street from there? I seem to recall you guys were thinking about it at the very least.
I don't know if we actually did, to be honest. I can't.
Yeah, I
remember.
don't think we had the money for it.
At the
Yeah, I don't
time,
think we
yeah.
got
Not
it.
of this.
Well, somebody else probably bought it.
Someone
We did put him
would
out of
love to buy
business.
it. Someone might
It's
buy
also
it.
been 3 months, so there's a good chance somebody else bought it. But I can actually make a roll for that. See if it's still empty.
If it's not bought and there's profit in it involved, someone might buy it.
You know what? I made a roll. It just said that the building is still empty, and I think
Ooh.
it's actually not.
You've given
I-
fun ideas.
I think it's actually going to be far. Let's see. Trying to remember what the actual value of business is. Hold on. It's right here in my Dungeon Master's Guide. Let me look that up real quick, because I think I have another option for you guys. Now that you're potentially looking at all those trinkets.
While you're looking that up, question for just because I don't know a lot of. What are there any other like component that use like large pearls that anybody would need for magic wise?
Oh,
The only one I can think of is
so
Identify, but that only requires 100
Yeah.
gold.
Like I know that there's like diamonds and stuff for resurrection, but is there any other use magically for pearls?
That depends, because I don't think pearls don't count as gems, really.
Okay.
Well, that's the only thing I can think of that a pearl.
Identify,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
that could be
but
just
that-
a regular pearl though, not
Yeah,
a big
It
grape
could just be a
size.
stand.
I mean, nah.
What?
There's such a thing as a crystal ball, but that's not really a pearl either.
No.
Mm-mm.
Let's see.
No, looking for these spells. The jewel? No, it's not a jewel.
Because if there is no other use for them monetarily, then the trinkets would be better than the pearls. That was the only thing I was thinking. Like, is there any other use for them? I don't know.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Apparently, a large estate, the average cost is 5,000 gold, which means that a business is worth far less than a large estate.
Wow,
You could
that's
probably
cheap.
pick that up for less. And considering the location, of Troll Skull Alley, I would say you could probably pick that up for about 500 gold. The deed for that place across the street, as an outright buy, not simply a
That's
rental.
so cheap.
Oh, I have an idea. Oh, I have an idea. Cause, oh shit, Phaedra was wanting to work with the Genasi and with Paleos and a Choke about opening up a magical shop, and oh, that could be fun.
You know?
What color is the pearls? Are the pearls?
Pink.
Pink.
Yeah.
All right, never mind. I
Why?
was about to say that it might have been worth it, but no. Hang on, I'm looking at a list of spell components right now.
Oh, what requires a certain color pearl?
Circle of Death.
Oh, good.
You know, just a little spell called Circle of Death.
Yeah, nothing important. It's fine.
Okay. I
It's
am
not
gonna
a-
put it here.
What?
Because I was looking, because I wasn't sure what these did. Characters won't know, but player knows now. The potion of giant size is actually fucking ridiculous.
What is it?
For this, drink this potion, you become huge for 24 hours if you're medium or smaller. Otherwise, the potion does nothing. For your duration, your strength, it blanks out for a bit. Something, feet. But everything you're carrying and wearing also increases for size for duration. When rolling damage when large in this manner, you roll 3 times the normal number of dice.
Oh shit.
You become a fucking god.
That is very much for,
Phaedra.
yeah,
Phaedra.
yeah, and people like Phaedra, like-minded people who want to hit things,
Yes.
sharp objects.
You know, we're a simple type of people.
Didn't if willed it, and then went into stealth.
Oh your
Well, it did say that the things
yeah.
I wear grows with me, so
Yep.
Pink pearls are useless.
Okay.
For spells.
I could simulate an earthquake by stomping, and no one would see me.
I hear the potential of kobolds screaming in fear.
Fear me!
You hear kobolds screaming in the distance.
So I'm happy with what we've taken so far. I have no further indulges.
Apparatus of Quellish and the huge sea chest stuff. Did you decide if you're taking that 10,000 gold worth of trinkets?
I don't think we've decided yet.
What I hear is either trinkets, wine, or potions.
Potion.
Well, you don't have to take both the casks of wine. There are 2 of them there.
Yeah.
You can take one and then pick one of the other things from the other, or you could take the trinkets and the potions, or you could take both things of wine. It's however you want to do it.
These are very difficult to decide
Yeah.
against. Like,
This is hard.
kind of want all of them.
I would
like
I
these
would,
ones are very interesting to us.
I would
What am I
argue.
thinking? Of course,
Thing
take
is-
what you want, I will steal the rest.
What, Fluffy?
I'm just kidding.
I think for help wise, I feel like the potions should be definite things because we can always figure out like we know they're potions of giant size, so we know they're gonna do something pretty making and increasing your size.
But
Can't. What? Jesse?
the wine. The wine's the most important.
I I okay, here's my thoughts. I also am allured by the potions of giant size, but I also have a strength-based character. Who else could benefit from this?
Potential characters you haven't met yet?
Technically, any melee character could benefit of this. Even Jordan
mean,
could benefit
Even
from
a dex base?
Yeah, because you can always choose to use your strength
it.
instead
And
of
it makes your
dex.
strength at 25, so
Okay.
Even if a weapon is finesse, like a dagger, you could use your strength instead.
Okay. So that would make it Phaedra, Shiori, uh, Dara,
Character, potential
Maybe.
character.
potential character that Jesse's got.
Yeah,
Or Quentin has, you don't know yet.
Quentin Cruz.
It would be a lot.
Imagine my character with it.
No, don't talk!
It would be a lot of characters.
Okay. I mean, hell, Will could fucking hit
Yeah,
somebody
Will.
with the staff of the woodlands.
fuck you.
Okay, so
I turned the staff into an actual tree and hit them with it.
careful.
God damn it.
Okay, so okay, then we'll do the second anemone chest, and we'll take the potions of giant size.
Okay.
Everybody good with that?
So you got the potions of giant size, the apparatus of Quellish, and the huge sea chest. What is going to be your fourth and final?
Am I a little bit louder?
You sound better.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I just realized that my headphone jack was actually a little bit out of place.
That
Yeah, that might do
figures.
There we go. You guys can hear me now. Whee!
Yay!
I mean, I still have you turned up to 200%.
Yeah, but it's still better than what it was before, so
Yeah.
we're good.
Awesome.
So what is the fourth item you're picking up?
Okay. Do we want fancy wine for the bar or 10k in trinkets?
That you could use to shop to stock a curio shop.
But what if you just use that money to buy more wine?
Well, then why not take the trinkets to buy wine?
Yeah.
If you're using that logic, Jesse.
Yeah, precisely.
I
Use
feel
the
like
money
the
to
trinket
buy
figure
more.
probably at least, like you said, well, like you were saying, we could purchase the thing across the street, which would become more income, which then we could purchase more wine if we really wanted to.
Yeah.
Or more things in general.
Question for the GM, out of character. Can businesses actually go bad?
Yeah.
Just wanted to know.
They could.
I will cut you if you fuck with the bar.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't.
Or with the second shop that we might create.
I just wanted to make. If there's no consequences.
No,
then
yeah.
I
We
don't-
dumped a lot of money into this place to make it the way it was, and a lot of work.
Yeah, but what if like, since you're opening, you get right next to the.
You are cutting in and out.
What? You're really lagging.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Sorry,
sorry. Hey, internet booster, but yeah.
What were you saying, Jesse? Want to repeat
What?
all of that?
What if? I'll do it a little bit. What if? Like, wait, what's the store that you were going to make it at? Because if it's a cross, would it go to the tavern than the new place?
No, it's not going to be another tavern. It's going to be something else.
'Cause
Yeah, it's gonna be something other than
it's
a tavern.
basically currently it's set up as a tavern, but it's been empty for 3 months or longer, possibly 4 months at this point. So it's easy enough that you can spend. You've got contacts in the construction field, so you can easily take a few days and have them renovate the inside for a small amount of money, and have it set up as anything you want.
Yeah, we can hire our friendly neighborhood lizard folk and get them to read.
Yeah.
The other reason why I'm asking is because I'm kind of interested in one day maybe actually getting a store with a new character or something like that.
Or Ralthor opens a store in Waterdeep.
Well, yeah, that's what I was kind of talking about because Vader was working with Peleos and a choke to do some stuff with her blacksmithing.
Yeah.
And she's already friends with the Genasi couple, so
Yeah, and that's why I was thinking, like, you know, the thing there is technically an herbalist store in Trollskull area. The one thing that it doesn't have is there's no curio shop, which I was talking
Okay.
about. I was suggesting, like, you know, curio or, you know, dedicated magic shop, you know, something interesting that the people after drinking at your bar would look over across the street and say, "Oh, I want to buy something over there."
Drunk buying.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Suddenly getting on Amazon. Got it.
Buy magic drugs.
And then you just have somebody sitting in a bar using awakened mind and giving drunken thoughts to people. It's fine.
Oh God.
Dear Lord.
Like a certain chaos.
Okay, so are we all in agreement that we're doing the trinkets then with this?
I think I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
think
in agreement,
trinkets
but
would be great.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, basically
then we will
mark it
take
down
the
as
third crate.
10,000 gold worth of undersea trinkets is the best way to put it.
Under this.
Which, as I said, you could sell some right away, but I said that would also be great stock for a shop. That you could, like, look at that and, like, you get people to buy for. If you put it into a shop, even though it'll take longer to sell them, you would get more money than trying to sell them individually at other shops. Because you get to have your own markup.
Okay.
And it is by the
It's under the
greatest.
water for a while.
Okay. Got it.
So, we got some stuff.
We got some stuff.
Yeah, we got some stuff.
So, how many potions of giant size were there?
There's 6.
Good lord.
So 3d6 times 100 gold in mixed coins, assorted amount of magical items, apparatus,
3d6 times 100 times 12.
Yep.
times. No, my bad. Let's add some numbers.
So,
Oh, my bad.
so at this point, at this point, as you guys are finishing deciding what you want and putting stuff away, before you put any magical items in the bag of holding, you need to make sure there isn't something that could destroy your bag of holding. So, whoever would like to head this, and who wants to head it?
I mean, I want to remind everyone that I rolled and got a invisibility cloak.
Yep. You get to roll the 1d4 plus 1 to see how many magical items there are there.
What? Oh, wait, shit. I didn't want to do that one. Oh, boy.
Don't screw us.
1d4
Why do
plus.
you do this?
Plus 1.
So 7, you say?
1d4 plus 1.
Why do you jinx us?
I haven't said. I'm not gonna
so-
say anything.
What
No.
I'm doing right now is that I'm looking away from the screen. And I'm also going to choose you.
I didn't jinx us. I didn't jinx
All
us.
right.
Thank you very
That
much.
sounds good.
So,
That's not bad.
this is going to happen. 2 items are from one table and 2 items are from another table. Who's going to roll the first table? Do you each want to take Do you each want to take a 1d100 and do it one at a time, or would somebody like to do a 2d100 twice?
I think each of us doing one
Yeah. Each of
Okay.
us do
at a
one.
time.
Rick, you're up first. Roll a 1d100.
1d100.
So one of the wind stars comes over, looks at the magical items, and picks up what
I
it...
certainly found.
Okay. And Fawn, he would be able to identify this right off the hand. He finds an ion stone,
Oh.
but this one's clearly for strength.
No.
Wait, what? Squeeze me?
I was happy for a second there.
An ion stone of strength is your first magical item.
I felt the faint illusion of puffiness.
Just
Yes.
a moment.
A fleeting moment. I had hope.
Shuttle, you're up next. What's Talon going to pick up from this pile?
Roll 1d.
4 magical items. 16. Oh god, no, not again!
Oh god, not again!
Cloak of invisibility.
No! You found a crystal ball!
Oh!
Wow. Cross game.
But
Which one? There are many. There are 3 different types of crystal balls.
this time it's the very rare version.
Which one's okay? So crystal ball.
That's the medium one.
Oh, it's not the legendary one.
Yeah, that well, that Immunet has.
Very rare. Okay, I'll look that up. Okay.
Okay, what's the other table? Okay, so 2 from that table, and then the other table for the other items. Okay, so Fluffy, you're up next.
Okay. Let's see, what happens now? This girl kinda looks...
You have found a weapon, a +1 weapon. What is your weapon of choice?
Rick usually uses battle axes.
So you pick up a battle axe, and you can tell it is a slightly magical battle axe. A battle axe +1. And let's see, who's Will? Will's the last one. What does Will pull from this pile?
I swear, if this is another potion of invisibility or something like that, I will.
You will
Wait.
what?
I will
I
disappear,
will leave.
I promise you.
77.
Lucky number 7.
You find Eyes of the Eagle.
Ooh.
Oh, wait. Are those weird goggles?
Yes.
Lovely.
They give you
Lovely.
advantage on. I think is it perception or investigation?
Perception.
These crystal lenses fit over your eyes. While wearing them, you have advantage on wisdom checks that rely on sight. In conditions of clear visibility, you can make out details of extremely distant creatures and objects as small as 2 feet across. It does require attunement. So I don't know if Will has any slots left because he already has, like, boots and
Yeah,
a
no,
robe and.
I turned over the ring, so I have a slot ready.
And the staff? Or do the boots not require attunement?
Oh, no, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
What the fuck did I just do? I clicked and added a spell. Whoop.
Witten,
Whoops!
go into Roll20 group for me for a second.
So, now that you have taken your fill of the treasure, what is the plan for your characters?
We are pretty fucked up. I think it's time to rest.
Should I to rest here at
Yeah.
the storage
Yeah,
yard
we
thing,
need
or would
rest.
you like to get yourselves home?
I mean, we need to make sure Phaedra knows that we're fine, too. So, I think we should rest here.
Does anyone have access to message or sending or any of those?
Rick does his sending.
Will it work if she's asleep though?
Yeah, it'll transfer into her.
Kind of was... Kind of cast spell, please. It's 25 words.
Mm-hmm.
This is Kirk. Beast fell. We are okay. In Maelstrom. King saved. Resting here. Bye.
That was only 15 words.
I don't think what else he could say.
So, Phaedra, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Second. It never pulled up.
Alright. You don't wake up, but your subconscious and whatever dreams you're having fill with this information.
I would imagine, like, Cinder starts whimpering on her chest.
Cinder works to try to ease her back into a better, more pleasant sleep.
Is she just asleep till morning?
Yeah, her body's exhausted from all
Yeah.
that
No, I just...
time, which means even after the party wakes up, you'll still be asleep because the party, because you're needing to sleep for 24 hours, and they'll wake up well before that. Oh, little cat paw. So you guys managed to get a sleep there in the small people guest quarters of the Storm Giants. This time without being woken up in the middle of the night to be attacked. So a far more pleasant experience than the previous time you were here.
A question, how much of a time difference would there be? Because whenever the party woke up and saw the decorations, Phaedra was already asleep.
Yeah, because yeah, but she basically won't wake up till the next morning, till the morning of the 26th, and it's still going to be the 25th when they finally wake up from their long rest because it's only midday. 8 hours. It means they're being asleep until nighttime, basically. But after the harrowing battle they just had, it makes sense that they can sleep 8 hours at this point. That makes sense?
And I don't know if they would necessarily sleep right away. They'd probably just rest and then go to sleep. So I'm fine. That's what the short is doing.
What are they going to do for rest time? You're in a foreign giant place, and you've just been what?
Morn beast.
Morn. All right.
On beast's death.
That's short. Gert's probably just remaining silent.
Talon's not doing a whole lot. I mean, she's probably just... I don't know. She's not really close with anybody in the party, so she's probably just sitting by herself and... yeah, I don't know. Watching people.
By the way,
She does.
where is Rhiannon? Because she would have
Rhiannon
gotten.
is with Biddy.
Okay.
Wherever Biddy is, Rhiannon is. 'Cause she made a promise,
So-
and I don't know.
At this point, I am going to be changing who's in what group. I am going to Some of you are going into the tavern, while the rest of this group is going there. So, because Biddy is heading for the tavern, and that means Rhiannon's heading with him after getting the light up signal.
Yeah. Like the second the pin started to light up, Biddy was like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
should probably figure out what the hell's going
So
on."
that means Fluffy moving you, Tobias moving you.
What the hell is going on?
Okay, so elsewhere right now. Let me set up the tavern real quick.
I was confused. I kept hearing people leave and come out of Discord.
No, I had to move people around because two of you would not be in the tavern right. I also have to fix up who's in the tavern at the moment. Sorry.
They're not gonna be at the tavern. Oh no!
No, it's just that currently the crew that went off to, it was still in the tavern. So, okay, cool. Because they're not there anymore. Move. Here we go. So, sometime in the middle of the day, right after oops, Will shouldn't be there either. Right after opening time, basically, when the lunch crowd starts filtering in, Biddy and Rhiannon make their way into the tavern. They haven't been here for a bit, and this is the first time seeing evidence.
Is that an octopus behind the bar?
The octopus with the top.
I-
The octopus lifts his top hat and waves at Rhiannon and Biddy.
Oh, that's new.
Hello.
Well, we
What
cleaned
can
this
I
a
get
lot.
for you?
Um, where are the Iron Roses?
Yeah, where is everybody?
I've never seen this
they
place so empty.
they left days. It's not empty. There are
Yeah,
customers
no, empty
filtering
as
in.
no one of the Iron Roses here.
Yeah.
We've always had Iron Roses.
They
have it
had to
before.
go on an airship a few days ago in order to rescue a giant.
An airship?
A giant?
Yes.
Oh.
I was left in charge of the bar by
That's-
my awakener.
They went to go deal with the Storm King. Yeah.
That's
The Genasi couple
worrying.
enters in at this point, waves at the bartender, who waves at Evidence, who waves back, and the kobolds quickly come out with a few sandwiches for them.
So how long ago did they go?
This was a few days ago.
Few days. Alright. Well, something happened. Looks down at the pen. Something not good.
At the very least, one of our allies are down. Do you have?
Several
Is there any way to
several
contact
halflings in various work garb come strolling in and wave. They pause for one of them says, "I don't think I've seen you here before." Looking at Biddy.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Ran.
Even the places I've been to before.
Taps Biddy. Pats Biddy on the back. One thing that I thought of that Rhiannon and Biddy would see. Where would you say, Grizz, Phaedra would have hung the stockings?
That'd have been up in the upstairs in the common area.
Okay, never mind. You see
It's
shit.
basically by the fireplace. The rest of
Okay.
the place does look more festive than usual.
So I guess you're the innkeeper. What is your name?
I'm not an innkeeper. I am simply the
Tavern keeper,
bar,
whatever. Bartender.
and my
whatever, same
name
thing.
is Evidence.
Evidence. Your name is
Evidence.
Evidence.
Oh God, what did they do?
I'm guessing this is evidence of something.
I used to belong to a man on a gambling boat. He
Oh,
died, and
Oh,
God.
and Master Will rescued me from the tank
Master
there.
Will.
Master Will.
Now this is making sense.
Okay, Evidence.
A winter
there-
Eladrin with short hair and long flowy pants enters silently, and she heads over to the fireplace over in the corner.
Evidence. Is there any way for us to contact any of the Iron Roses?
I do not know. A silverish dragonborn with a black skull mask on his face enters and heads to the fireplace.
Well, this place is hopping. Dear God.
Yes, it has gotten quite popular for lunchtime. This is part of the normal lunch day crowd these days, from what I can tell. People have come to see me. And the Evidence tips its hat over towards the people in the bar.
Oh God.
At least we're getting more customers, I guess.
That's a good point, Betty. Yeah.
One of the
Right.
kobolds heads over to the corner and says, "Your usual!"
Well, what the fuck we doing now, Betty?
I thought someone would be here.
Have you found any sort of way to Avernus?
Grizz?
I don't know anything about Avernus, Evidence says.
Not you, Biddy.
No. Yes, and I'm saying Grizz because
Yeah, that's what you
Have
like.
I?
You're talking in character. You're talking out of character. Biddy. Uh, sorry, I'm just waiting for a response from somebody. And I'm now poking them hard.
I did say. Oh, you want me to actually?
Yes!
Just your usual whiskey.
Right away! You see the kobold scribbling out as you two talk, and Biddy, you have come up with nothing.
no, it's proving more difficult to find a way to Avernus than I thought.
Alright. We need to go. We need to put a pin in this then, and we need to figure out.
Yes, we need to figure out what's going on with everyone else.
Question, out of character. What the fuck happened to Biddy?
He is now a half. He is now a halfling, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
he also tried his luck at the dice because he had been turned into something really weird.
God, fuck.
No, I liked what I was before.
He wasn't gonna fit
I was
into where
told
he
that I
had
had
been.
to change. Okay.
God damn it! You just don't have good luck with the die.
I'm used to it now.
Well, I guess we
Right.
just wait till they get
They-
back. I don't
They
know.
might have left a message somewhere.
Okay. I can go check upstairs. I'll be right back. She'll
Kobold-
go up to.
Kobold comes
Or-
back with whiskey and hands it over to the Dragonborn.
Oh, evidence. Can I have some beer?
Yes.
This situation's stressing me out.
Evidence goes over and you see the octopus manipulating things with its tentacles and fills up a glass that's nice and halfling sized for Biddy and puts it down in front of him.
Thank you.
Fucking me. Does a little tap to my friend. Little drink for a little man.
Do I hear that
Yeah.
remark?
Yeah, you can hear it coming from the mouth of the Dragonborn there in the corner.
I just look over at them.
Does a little.
Get us kicked out. This is the normalest bar in town. Who are those two? I say to evidence.
Oh, they've been coming around the last 2 days. That is Eric, and I'm not sure the name of the other one. She has not given it yet.
It's not Eric, it's Eric. God damn it.
Eric, I am sorry. I'm not used to talking.
Eric and someone else, okay.
Ah! Calm down.
Anyway, Eric, why? We were coming here, so you wanted to play here, right? So what was the goal again?
Was maybe a little bit more people to come in, you know? Get the seats filled a bit more.
Do you have stage fright?
Quite the opposite. I don't feel like playing when there's only like 6 people. It's gonna be a full on.
Did you find anything, Rhiannon?
I didn't find any notes or anything, but there's a whole lot of stockings and stuff up in the war room. It's got our names on it, and there's stuff up there for us.
Okay, we'll put a pin in that, whatever's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, annoyingly, just wait.
Evidence, give me a drink.
What kind of drink would you like, mistress?
You can call me Rhiannon.
Rhiannon.
And I will take wine.
As you wish. And you see the tentacles manipulating wine glasses and wine bottle very expertly, and pour you a
Oh,
glass.
Bother. Okay, you could have just given me the bottle. That's fine. And she'll just sit and drink and. Yep.
All right.
Cheers to whoever's dead.
Yeah.
Switching back.
I wonder who it is.
If you guys are up. Oh, you guys are still talking. I'm sorry. Thought you were.
No. Oh, they just cheers to who
Yeah.
died. They're just toasting to whoever died. We don't know who.
Okay.
Well, I guess it's time to start the show. Couple of some gulls float around Urk as he starts playing his great battle act.
You see that he has an axe that has strings attached to it. Roll a performance check.
Oh, he will. He is going.
Yeah, and it's also not a good idea to play actual music in the background. It could, if it's copyrighted, it'll cause the entire stream to go silent.
You ready? Performance.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I am a heavy metal rocker.
So you hear some of the best metal music you've ever heard in your life just issuing out from that weird instrument.
Or, like the only heavy metal music.
Maybe.
I mean, I wouldn't think that heavy metal would be common around these parts.
I guess it depends on
Well,
who you
there
are.
There was Kage, or Cage, whatever his
Yep.
name was.
Oh. So does
The guy before your time. That little gnome.
Oh, a little gnome rocking out. That'd be cool to have in my band.
Rihanna just kind of like turns her around and like in her stool, and so she's got like her arms like on the bar, and she's kicking her feet back and sipping her wine, and then just listening.
Wait, we are getting paid for this gig, right?
I don't think you get. I actually don't know. Does this count as a gig when you just start randomly playing?
No, it doesn't. Does not count as a gig if you just randomly play.
Yeah, and we're not paying for you.
I think they don't want to pay Eric.
If you wanted to be paid, you should have brought it up with, us.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, this really is kind of our place.
This is your tavern? The little guy and some chick with bandages all over her?
Well, not just ours, but
The Iron Roses.
yes, this is property of the Iron Roses.
No, that's metal.
Can I roll performance for an eye roll?
Yes, you may.
Oh god, yeah.
Please be in that 20. Oh.
No.
Your eyes go to the back of the skull.
Nah, it's just it's just a typical eye roll, almost like a teenager did it.
Okay. So I guess that the show's over. You know, go to the bar. Come on. Go to the bar and get some drinks.
Aren't we already drinking?
Wait, you still
Okay,
didn't pause.
you weird
I
people.
ran out.
Evidence climbs across the bar towards you. What more can I get for you?
Just a refill on the whiskey, please.
Yes, sir. Evidence takes your glass and fills it up quickly. And you, ma'am, what can I get for you?
Um, whatever you have right below this counter.
He puts a tentacle down underneath of it, searches, pulls out a half-filled bottle of rum, and starts to fill a small glass with it, and offers it to you.
Okay, I take it and I'll drink it, I guess.
Day drinking.
Max always drinking. What are you talking about? That's why you can't remember much.
So who exactly are these iron roses? Seems kind of weird that roses would be made out of iron.
It's just a name. We're a
Thank you, yeah.
we're a group. Kind of came together here in Waterdeep, and we help. We looks over at Biddy. What do we do?
Um, well, we're currently trying to save the world.
No, that yeah.
We've also been interdimensional,
That too.
interplanar,
Oh, yep, that as well.
um, memory business,
Mm.
sadly. Um,
Trying to find
Dragon
the
killing.
gods.
Trying to find the gods.
Mhm.
Um,
What else? Hmm.
Kind of leans
tavern
over.
owners.
I'm just gonna roll insight on this.
Yep.
um, we'll also have a little home base. We have a small base at Neverwinter, which is my mansion. Um,
Leans
what
over.
else?
Do you think they're talking shit?
We helped save Neverwinter. We did
Yeah.
that. Forgot about that.
Didn't that
We
place
helped
like
save
blow up?
another. I heard that you helped save another town.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What else did we do
Mm,
or trying to do?
Something with giants now. I'm not quite sure what, but yeah.
Quick question: didn't Neverwinter like blow up, kind of?
It got taken over by demons.
Well, taken over's over exaggerating.
Well,
It was
yeah,
attacked by demons.
attacked by demons.
And what? You killed them all?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And then my brother paid for the repairs of the castle.
Psst, he has money.
Wait, the little one? No, his brother.
His brother.
I mean, I have money. My family has money. Would be the
Mm.
more accurate way to put it.
He's got a lot of brothers.
Oh, that's sad to
Kinda-
hear.
Zach kind of leans on the desk towards them.
I
So,
guess losing one wouldn't mean much to them then.
It means a lot to us. Thank you very much. Family is everything to us.
Losing one. What?
No, no.
Biddy, only Rhiannon can see this. Puts a hand on one of his rapiers.
Oh, don't worry about her or whatever she is. Don't worry about it. She's not from around here.
Well, I will tell. You could tell her this. Threatening an owner of an establishment's brother is probably not a good way to start off things.
No, I was just wondering, like, if one, seeing the family is rich, like, if you kidnap one, you get like a lot of money, but seeing there's a lot
No,
of
if you
kids.
kidnap one, you die.
That's more accurate.
Hmm.
She points at Biddy.
Kind of puts a hand on my buddy's shoulder. Just let it go.
Okay. Okay.
You never know how you're
Anyway.
gonna die if you kidnap one of us. You might get stabbed, shot, blown up with magic, frozen with magic.
What about electrocuted?
That's an option.
I think that's an option, yeah.
No. Rhiannon just kind of cracks her knuckles.
Eric cracks his knuckles. See? See? I can crack them too.
Anyway,
So to circle back, you said it was demons, right? Devils or demons?
I'm not sure.
I think it was demons?
I believe they spoke infernal, so maybe it's a type of devil. Actually, we didn't.
Either one, it
Oh.
really doesn't matter in this situation.
I mean, it kind of does.
They set the
Why?
town on fire.
Yeah, but why were they there? Because that doesn't seem normal.
No.
It's because of someone we're trying to. We believe that it has something to do with someone we're chasing.
Correct.
And who exactly are you chasing?
Oh, I'm sorry. We are not giving that freely out to random people.
Yeah, we just spent.
But I asked nicely.
For all we know, you might be working
need
for
it.
them. You need to be cautious with this type of situation.
There's a thing in this plane called trust. That's something that we haven't actually given to them just yet. It's a little bit hard to give.
Your friend there has a point.
Mm-hmm. Something that needs to be earned.
Seems rather useless to me. I don't. He's the one who like did the demon thing, right? The devil thing, whatever.
Sounds like a pretty bad
We
guy.
believe so.
Like, and, could you tell me where he is?
If I knew where he was, I'd be here right now.
Okay,
We
makes
know where
sense.
he's not.
Okay, that could help. Where is he not?
The material plane.
Oh,
Okay, then I'm in the wrong place.
are you sure
Oh.
Do you know who we're talking about? She kind of like looked.
I
What do
don't
you-
exactly know. I'm kind of here to solve whatever is going on here. So
And what
stuff
would be that? There's a lot that's going along
like
in this.
I don't know, big things that like do bad things in the Feywild, basically.
What's going on in the Feywild?
I mean, whatever's going on here goes on there, kind of. Not 100%. It's a bit strange, but like some locations, like if, for
Rhiannon look.
instance,
Go ahead.
someone like blows up a city here, like something bad's gonna happen in the Feywilds. And there's been too many weird shit for the Fey to be responsible. Also, the Fey are kind of like, what's going on? So we are looking for whatever's going on, and we think it's here, or maybe the Shadowfell, maybe.
Rhiannon just like face palms so hard on the bar right now. I didn't even think about that.
I wasn't even playing my music. Why are you headbanging?
Uh, Lunissa is gonna follow her lead and bang her head against the table.
Brianna,
No,
you should not try and.
Uh,
should
is
refrain-
is
Brianna,
this
you
how
should
we
refrain from face palming, please.
is this how we make trust?
Is this how we make trust?
Biddy
Love.
instinctively face palms.
yeah.
Just
I follow his
instinctively
lead. I think I'm onto
No,
something
don't
here.
follow my. Oh.
Oh my god.
Eric is just
Okay,
following out of laughter.
so let me get this straight. You're trying to find out. You're trying to stop whatever's causing problems in the Feywild.
Oh, I'm not. Not me.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to your
Oh.
friend.
God damn it.
Yes, kind of, yeah. It's not very clear. We just know weird stuff happens because, like, if it blows up here, like where we are from, like a lava volcano might erupt. It's not like a 1-to-1 ratio, but there's been like too much going on. And you say
Well-
demons in like what was it, Neverwinter?
Yes.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
there was Baldur's Gate being this
Mhm.
whatever happened to Baldur's Gate from the storm, the Neverwinter issue, and that's the anything else major?
There was the they went down to the temple and that whole thing with the portals opening. Remember?
Right,
You told us about
the
that.
portals. So that's three things.
I think I read in a newspaper once there was a beam of light.
Yes.
Yes, that beam of light.
Of the demons or something.
Oh, yeah, the beam of light popped up in two, from our knowledge, two separate places at the exact same moment and killed two people.
Okay.
When how long ago was that, Biddy?
Uh,
I'm curious if that took form here, if
Y- y-
something similar took
Rhiannon,
form.
you forget that I don't remember much.
I do forget that. I apologize. Opens up book and starts reading.
Do you forget?
I lean over to Urk. Is that tiny man getting really old?
It's a long story, okay? A lot has happened in my life.
Yes, it has, Betty.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, okay.
Sounds like an adventure and a half.
Oh, it's more like 5 adventures,
So,
if I remember that.
is there any way possible that we could tag along?
Well, that would have to consult with
the group.
however many group is left.
Don't know how many are alive right now.
For all we know, sadly, they might.
Dead.
Yeah, but we won't be able to find that out until either they come back or news of a missing party is revealed.
Well,
So,
I'm sorry to hear that, but question: when is the rest of the ride? Do you have any idea?
We don't know if they're coming. That's what Biddy just said. They could all be dead. Points to a rose pin on her shirt that's glowing. When this glows, it means somebody or somebody, anybody, any amount, we can't tell, someone has fallen.
we're going to we're going to make it more informative, but we came up with that idea a bit too late.
Wouldn't it always be glowing because people are dying all the time?
No,
Only
only people who have the pin.
all the roses have a pin.
Makes sense.
So we all know. So we know exactly when a rose has fallen.
What happens if like let like does it glow brighter with more deaths or?
Don't know. We haven't had a death before.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I haven't really. I don't. The only person that would know specifics would be Phaedra.
Danger. Kind of whispers over to his friend. So,
Is she also from the Feywilds?
Phaedra?
that's not what I was-
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No. She's not from the
Oh.
Feywild.
Okay.
From my knowledge, she's not from the Feywild.
But she's a Fey. Named Ra.
At this point, Gary, Avery, and Bob all trip in. Their own pins are glowing. Like they look at you guys and nod a bit. Who is it? Bob asks.
We don't know
yet.
Jeez.
Goes and sits
we
down
don't
over
know.
here.
The only thing we do know is that it was the group that went to deal with the giant business.
So, guys are also part of the Iron Thorns? I mean,
Yes.
related?
Gary Palmel.
I'm back. Just
And Avery is quiet and looking you up and down at the moment, Urk. She seems to also be some kind of barbarian, given the way that she is carrying herself.
But with a bow. Or does she not actually have a bow?
She has a bow.
Ah, okay. But with a bow. Interesting. Yeah, this place seems like one of the most normalest places to be, by the way. Because
mean-
it's definitely not normal to me.
Gary kind of looks down at evidence and looks over at Avery. Oh, this is certainly new. Shall we, this is GM talking, switch back over to the other team?
Sure.
Sure.
Or I had my fun time in the spotlight. And spotlight, I mean skulls and lightning shows. Kind of like a raid. It was fun.
Yeah. All right, back in the maelstrom. It's now evening, and you guys are woken up from your long rests. Aki's kind of sitting there. I really need to talk to somebody about what's going on here. Why do I remember them and you guys don't? I've been thinking about that for hours now.
Was there ever a point where you were in a different plane of existence
I
than us?
was there with you the entire time.
Well, that destroys all of the logic that we currently know about that, then.
Yeah, that makes no sense whatsoever, given what knowledge we have been granted from. Oh god, I'm having a brain fart. Dragon dude.
Lograth?
Thank you.
So you just refer to as the Dark Prince because you don't wish to accidentally summon him.
Prince Cthulhu, wait.
Yeah, that goes against all the information we've received from the Dark Prince.
Then maybe I should talk to him.
Maybe he just doesn't know.
No, possible.
Or maybe it's something.
Else.
Because he was affected
Yeah.
by it, wasn't he? Aki just looks up.
From what we can tell, yeah.
And why wasn't I if you were? And then he looks at it. Then he looks at
Maybe
his
it's
covered
because of where
wrists.
you're from.
Maybe.
Maybe it has something to do with, like, I don't know, your demon blood, whatever that was.
Maybe that's what I was thinking. But why would the weirdness in my blood be such a factor when some ancient lich doesn't? It is affected by it.
Wait. Isn't I cannot pronounce it as a player. That prison plane
Coursera.
in Cassera, isn't it in the abyss?
I don't know. David would be the one to ask that sort of question too, but he's still in the Feywild.
Where's my Rihanna journal?
He's the one that's knowledgeable about planar physics. He did mention something once about how our understanding is limited as to what actually constitutes a plane, what's where, and all sorts of stuff, but I'm not that good with that sort of thing. So now that you guys are awake, what would you like to do now?
I have way too many goddamn journals.
Oh, I know that feeling.
I don't know where my notes are for you.
If I can make a suggestion, what about going to let people know? Just just putting it out there. I'll go back to you.
I mean, we don't know where the others are.
Yeah. We have no idea.
They could be at the mansion, in our little.
You guys left from the tavern, though.
Did we leave from the tavern?
Yes, you did. Because it was it was out in Waterdeep that you got the airship.
Right.
Well, I mean, what are we doing here, y'all? They have their king. We need to get more information regarding this dragon hunt, right? Yeah?
So we're gonna help them out with that, Naki asks.
At some point, I mean, someone needs to go get Phaedra.
Hmm.
She does have a conch, I think.
Don't you get her here?
Yes. And I believe she also has some way of getting back to the clubhouse.
Yeah, she's got her stone on her.
Question is, do we wait for her? I would not be opposed to it. If you don't want to go ahead, get back. Feel free.
We send her another message. Let her know we're here. Remind her of the conch.
I did tell her we were here. That's true.
Yes, but maybe you need to remind her she has a way to get here.
Could. If that's what you wish.
I mean, if we're waiting for her.
Alright. It's just what you just want to tell her about the constant get her here. Anything else?
Maybe something about, the Giants organizing a hunt for the dragon.
Okay. Dragon went away. Alright.
I think that's about it.
Okay. Send to me again? Remember the conch? Can get you here. Giants organizing a hunt for the dragon. It ran away. We are waiting here.
You have 3 more words. Is that it?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Sorry, Phaedra, roll me a wisdom saving throw, please. You actually wake up, but you feel incredibly drowsy. Trying to think what the best equivalency is. Like you spent 24 hours awake doing extremely strenuous exercises and only got 5 hours of sleep. Do you know how that feels?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it's basically that level of grogginess right now. And you should technically still have a level of exhaustion, but you get the gist of it. You understand where your party is.
She wakes up and kind of just rubs her head.
Quincy is sleeping next to you, as is, well, Cinder's now awake. Cinder's looking in your face, but Quincy is next to you.
Looks over at Quincy. Looks down at the pen. And she puts her head in her hands and just starts crying.
Cinder whimpers and licks your tears. Quincy opens one eye and looks up at you.
And she'll get up and she'll just go over to Quincy and give Quincy some head scratches.
Quincy makes that rumbling noise. Not exactly a purr, but that other rumbling noise that cats do.
Yeah. And she just wipes her face and
Pats you with a tentacle.
I'll be right back. And she will go and find Captain Calzonia.
He's been sitting there patiently all day. He saw the ship go down, and he knows you weren't able to wake up. Hasn't been sure what to do, and he sees you coming, and stiffens as if about to tell you something.
What happened?
We don't know.
You saw something. What happened?
They haven't come back. We saw the ship get pulled under. We weren't able to wake you, but so we figured it would be just a matter of time before you came. Woke up on your own and came looking.
And you stayed here the entire time?
Yes, just in case. We've been sending flights around, but we haven't seen anybody in the water. Nothing.
Kind of cocks her head up. Did you aid them at all in this battle?
There wasn't any... he thinks for a moment. There wasn't any time to do anything. We saw the Kraken... The tentacles of the Kraken, and we were getting our things together to fire at it, and then the Kraken just pulled the ship under. Somebody... one of the gunners did say that it looked like there was a giant, and that the giant disappeared, but we have no way of knowing what the hell happened down there.
She kind of takes a step back. Fine. Shakes her head. Make your way back to Waterdeep. Thank you for your service.
Where are you going?
To mourn with my family.
So what does Phaedra do?
She goes back to... she'll get Quincy, and she will get Cinder, and she'll grab all of her stuff. Anything that anybody else left on the ship, I don't know, she'll take a around, and then she will teleport using the conch.
Wrong. Let's put the wrong list. Oh, so that was the cube. There we go. So Phaedra and Quincy and Cinder all appear on the teleportation platform down in the Maelstrom as you guys are, soon after Grick sent her a message. So I imagine some people are out, waiting to see if she shows up.
Sure. As soon as Brick said he was gonna send a message, sure, I would have started walking that way.
Okay.
Yeah, Fan would have too.
Phaedra has, I imagine Quincy just like walking by her side, and she's got Cinder like wrapped around her shoulders, and her face is just filled with tears. Like she's just sobbing as she's walking towards you all. What?
We got down there. It was fine for the first bit. There were a couple casters that gave us a little bit of trouble. We managed to push past. While we were doing our stuff and trying to free the storm king of the magical binds, it opened. It almost crushed Yamo apparently. And Dara saw Beast rush at one of the tentacles. And he hit it, and it exploded. And as soon as that thing he amazed, he struck all those things too. It almost killed that almost nobody.
She just hangs her head.
I was unable to
And at that, she will go up to Shiori and give her a hug.
There's two things I'd like to do. And she kind of looks between you and Fawn. I don't know what we have in terms of funds anymore. We did get some from this. But I would like to do something in the tavern as a memorial to Beast, if we could.
Of course. Of course.
I have to purchase one thing and head back to my home when I get a moment.
Okay. Would you like me to come with you?
If you wish.
Okay. Camel, are you okay?
A train missed me, so I'm fine. Well, I'm not sure what that means.
Neither do I.
It was big. Whatever it was that hit me.
So, this Kraken that Calzonia told me about, this had to be the Sea Mother, correct?
Yes.
So she's out.
Yes. If it wasn't for the Storm King, we would not adopt.
Oh, God.
The last moment before we teleported out, or shortly before, I was grabbed by one of its tentacles.
Phaedra looks up super concerned.
But between the efforts of a few, we were able to take it out, and I was able to get to the giant who waited for me to be there.
Why didn't y'all wait for me?
It's just a scenario.
I was the one who suggested we were moving. I was afraid we would be too late to save the king, and would have traveled all the way in vain.
To be fair, if we hadn't gone, that Kraken probably would have gotten him given when it arrived.
It was just a hunch.
Well, we've saved their king. Lost one of our own in the process.
Indeed.
Yes.
Phaedra appears to be growing more and more angry. Tears stopping. Well, not tears not stopping, but fists are clenched. Where is this king?
Now, Phaedra,
What?
perhaps acting in anger is not the best course of action.
I just need to talk to them. We came here to help them, and we have been attacked when we promised that we were helping from the get-go when we arrived here. And now we have rescued the king, and we have lost one of our own.
The two sisters that were against us at the beginning. I can guarantee you, they
Have removed their heads from their asses, so that's good to know.
there's a familiar look of shame. One I've seen many times.
Who do you blame, Phaedra?
Myself, because I wasn't there.
We chose to leave without you. Who do you blame?
Aki moves over to Phaedra at this point.
I don't blame you, Will.
The blame should go to the one that killed Beast, not to you.
Blame goes to no one.
I think the blame technically is to Greg. He read the dragon thing. If it has ties to this.
Oh, it has ties to this. Even I can see that, and I'm not very. It has ties to it.
Apparently, they are working on a plan to hunt her down.
Good. I'm a part of that. I will be a part of that for Beast.
All right.
Oh, I guess I just decided that.
and
Greg's just like, all right. Greg's
Sorry.
not arguing with that.
and with that,
Phaedra's not very happy right now.
and with that, we're taking a 5 to 10 minute break. Be back soon.
Yeah.
Greg's like, I'm not going to argue with that tiny angry dwarf.
Like,
I just
No.
realized what I said. I was like, oh yeah, well.
it's like, okay, Phaedra, don't get in the way of Angry Phaedra. Just
No.
agree with her.
I was talking to Fluffy about this. I'm like, she's gonna be sad at first, but then she's gonna get pissed. She's gonna get mad. But yeah. Oh,
my
I almost had to say that I couldn't do that. I was like, I don't know if I can have this conversation right now, but I'm okay. I got a little worried there for a second.
fair.
Yeah. I am gonna go make myself a sandwich. I will be right back.
All right,
Same.
I'm going to be back as well. Well, not for a sandwich, but you know,
Yeah. The
other
things.
reasons.
Exciting. Plunk. Welcome back.
Am I the only one back?
I think so. I'm just sitting here, you guys D&D out. So, what do you think of Urk?
Oh,
Trying-
interesting.
He's trying to get trust, but you know, the friend is
Your
not.
friend is not helping in it the
No,
slightest.
no, not at all.
Your friend's making it worse.
I did say she's not from around here. She doesn't know.
Drifting the friendship
Oh well.
further away. Biddy trusts. Right now, Biddy trusts you as far as he can throw a 10,000-ton brick. Which is nowhere at all.
Trust me, we're good people.
Your friend doesn't seem like one.
But she morals. She just I don't know.
It's fine.
Welcome back.
Welcome to hell. Hooray, victory! I'm playing under hero. Fun.
Hey.
Level up.
So now we're gonna be doing a dragon hunt. Great. We have too many things on our plate.
No, to be fair, Shiori's hunt is more, or her aggression's more toward anything that had to do with this. The cult, the kraken, the dragon.
Hmm.
Not necessarily immediately.
We don't
Which-
really have the proper time to deal with grudges.
Oh no. She's not necessarily saying like. Shori's not necessarily like now. It is more of if she finds them and she's able to deal with them, she's going to deal with them.
Yeah, but
The
Phaedra is
preference would
really
be more of a
mad at him.
long-term.
She-
Phaedra would want
Basic-
to go. I, I think Phaedra would want to go for them now. Welcome back, Quentin.
Welcome back, Quinn. You really put us through a lot of shit. It's you know the thing called yeah. You're kind of making us lose it. God damn.
What?
Yeah, the thing called trust. You said they were kind of losing it, but
I was thinking I was
we're
gaining it.
losing trust.
We started off bad, but we're going on an uphill climb, so you know the plan was hit the bottom as quickly as possible, and from there on you can only
Well,
go
you
up.
definitely hit the bottom. The bottom's probably a bit deeper than you realized.
Aw. I mean, I can just follow you guys, and you guys wouldn't even know. So I don't have a problem. I am just as bad as Will is. Maybe even worse.
You know.
Hmm.
And I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Who are we waiting on?
Shut up.
Alright.
I think.
Oh, there it is. Alright. I found the gnome.
That's a lie.
It's just
No one ever finds the gnome.
I heard the gnome. I don't see the gnome.
Well, you know that. Kind of rhythm game, based.
Uh-oh, Jesse's all quiet again.
Oh, that's because I'm not. I mean, it is like in the morning, and I live
Oh, okay.
with other people.
Yes.
So yeah, my first. Well, if it's over 20. Isn't it? Maybe I might be better than Logan. At least I still have my reputation.
Wow. That was mean.
Damn.
I'm sorry. I messed with Logan.
Trash Panda! So, how's everyone doing today?
I'm doing good.
Everyone is very quiet.
not allowed to talk about?
Maybe.
Perhaps.
I mean, I'm playing video games at the moment.
Yeah, well, you keep getting stuck, not being able to participate because your character's elsewhere at the moment.
Yeah, and God,
Ooh, that was a lot of robot.
hope, hopefully we can join this goddamn guild. If somebody doesn't
Yeah,
mess it up.
you haven't started on the right foot
False
to do that.
start.
Well, to be fair, they only insulted Biddy.
Uh, I mean, we were talking about brother, which I planned.
And
Maybe
didn't
he
there
could
was
insult
like,
Biddy.
maybe
there was
one
the
day
there
pay
was
for
the
a huge
slight
gig.
No, I
I
was
was-
just saying you're worth a lot
Well,
of
they-
money. That's a positive thing.
threatened,
They took it as a threat.
as you should.
If I was going to say maybe a decent performance to spread, you know, like music or something. Not like full on kidnap him. Like goddamn.
Moose.
Only intimidate.
Why not?
Intimidation would drag you further away from trust and more into
I would
be
not
ready to
intimidate you guys though. God damn.
You used the word intimidation.
Oh, stop taking my words out of context.
You're-
Think
That's
about
all I
yourself.
can do because you keep breaking up.
True. I don't know why I'm breaking up. I'm fucking internet booster.
Moose. Boost.
So, are we just waiting on shuttle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think so.
Thanks.
Just waiting on the shuttle.
I'm back.
Yay! Welcome
We're
back.
no longer waiting on the shuttle.
Sorry. I had to
It's okay.
text my mom and
That's
make
fine.
sure she was okay.
Aw. Do you need any more time?
No, I just was texting her. No, I'm good.
Well, if you do, just let us know.
Yeah, no, she's fine. No, I'll call her.
Alrighty.
I did think of something that Phaedra wants to do before they go and talk to the giant people.
Alright.
Goes over to Quincy and just kind of gives scritches behind the ears and then looks over at Will. I don't think Quincy knows about Beast. Can you talk to him? I don't know how you talk to some animals. I don't know if you can talk to him.
Yes, it's no animal. Beast tamed a monster.
Can anybody talk to monsters?
I mean, technically, if it understands language, I can talk to it.
Phaedra kneels down and looks at Quincy. Can you understand us? She'll say it in Dwarvish.
You're just gonna go through every
Yeah.
language first.
This is what you would do.
Yeah. Quincy
Ah,
just
maybe items.
kind of wiggles the tentacles and looks over at the group of you.
I'll use Awaken Mind. Quincy. Hello.
Quincy's eyes just narrow for a moment, and it looks around. In my head, don't like.
We're friends.
Don't.
Do you remember to
Why in head?
It's easier.
Yes. Fed me. Lots of good stuff.
He's dead.
Where?
It's right under the sea.
Drowned?
Eaten.
All things get eaten.
Yes.
Must have been tasty.
Wow.
Well, this is unexpected.
That doesn't get away expected.
Kind of why Will just said, yeah, no, this is out of his area of expertise.
Yeah. Phaedra just looks up at Gamel. Is he sad that Beast is gone?
No.
Oh. All right. Well,
He said he must have been tasty. I think it was only really happy because it was getting fat.
oh,
It is a monstrous creature after all. It probably doesn't have much of a connection.
there was a bond there.
Quincy just sits down, tail wrapped around itself, watching you guys.
What are we gonna do with it?
What would Beast want us to do? Is what I'm thinking.
Let it hunt. Keep in mind, Beast didn't exactly keep it as a house kitty.
No.
He often went out hunting with it.
You can always release it back into the wild.
That's what I was thinking.
Might be for the best.
I'm sure it would leave after a while if none of us seemed keen enough to feed it often enough. So,
It might be best to find us a good spot for it.
Okay.
That was where I focus.
Shiori, you said that you were going up towards your village for something, right?
Yes.
You could bring Quincy through and let him go up there. Then maybe he would still be around for whenever we visit.
it was
Whatever.
around there that we picked Quincy up.
Not too far, yeah.
Not that far south, so maybe future trail. Yeah, do that.
Okay.
I also have one concern.
Yes.
Not tied to this necessarily.
Okay.
More tied toward the dragon.
What?
I want to make sure we're not acting in haste. That's what I want to say.
Phaedra thinks and nods her head.
I wanted to just a lot. Not many of us have been added recently. But I don't the Giants to keep us informed of when they plan on hunting me, or plan on, or if they find it, or whatever. Maybe offer assistance if you're still available. We're still keeping.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This time I don't feel like we're doing it for the giants. If they want our help, they need to seek it.
Just when it was time to get stronger. I'm sure that dragon's not going to be going down without a fight. I won't be joining you on that one.
Why?
I've already been squashed by a big thing. I don't want to be squashed by another.
Oh. Fair enough.
Phaedra looks over at Shiori and sees her shield that she made for her.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Just. I don't want Beast Death to be in vain.
They will all eventually pay for it. I can guarantee that much at this time.
Fine. I'll hear what they have to say.
Gripping that control tight. Rick seems relieved because things seem to have calmed down a little bit.
Phaedra was real. She's very sad and she's very angry right now, and but also knows that she needs to try to be she needs to be smarter and not act brashly out of pure emotion. So she is persuaded to put that on a back burner for now. Okay. Let's go see what they have to say, I guess. And then let's go home.
Agreed. There's a lot of stuff to distribute.
Stuff. What?
I feel like they've lugged it or to some central
I
point.
think they have it in their guest rooms.
Yeah.
What?
Stop by the
Stuff.
restroom real quick.
Oh.
It's easier to show.
All right.
Yeah, it would be a whole lot easier to show than explain.
She'll follow.
So, literal fucking treasure that they offer. They give us this for this. Let us pick a few things, and this for the steak. That's thanks.
She just looks at it and gets that again.
I figured the money could be used partially. Across the street. Still. Well, and maybe even partially toward pieces, a memorial for pieces in the town.
glad you all are pleased with what riches they gave you.
Not necessarily pleased, just I try to find light in moments where there is none.
Phaedra knows.
All right. Let's talk to Storm King, I suppose.
And she looks.
All right. When you get up to the throne room and are actually allowed in by the guards, you notice that the now Princess Sarissa and her father seem to be in a argument of sorts. No, father, we just got you back. You're not leading this. Daughter, I am the king. It is my duty to see this through. I will take my strongest bodyguards and go meet out the death of this treacherous dragon as soon as possible. Said, no, you need to stay here. You were gone for months. You nearly died. Mother is already dead. We can't lose they can't lose you. At this point, they kind of like look over and notice that the group of you, have entered.
I think your daughter has a point there, Storm King.
This is
I'm gonna introduce myself. My name is Phaedra.
Phaedra. Well, it's good you are all here right now. I didn't want to wake you. I used my scrying circle to discover the location of the blue dragon, her lair. It is in the northern section of the how to pronounce that? Anorak Desert. We were planning on assaulting it as soon as possible. We can take transport to a bit north, call upon the a special rookery that we have in the whalebones, and fly them all the way to Anorak.
I will ask you this. What do you know of this dragon? What of its power? What of its size? Do you know anything?
She is quite fierce, and she was able to impersonate a giant, a storm giant, for many months. That makes her quite powerful. I imagine that she is a spellcaster of some note. Though I do not. I believe she might be the one referred to as the Doom of the Desert, and if so, she is ancient. And Sarissa takes up the musings. I know of this Doom of the Desert. She's also known as the Dragon of Statues. Supposedly, she has created living statues to watch over her lair.
Good luck with that.
Would you say, Will?
I said good luck.
Yeah.
Sarissa nods.
An ancient dragon. Wow. Its treachery angers me very much for your cause. It also saddens us, for we have lost one of our own in the process of assisting you because of this dragon. But I do know though I want to rush in and just annihilate this thing. I know we are not strong enough to face from the wisdom of others. I don't think we are ready to assist you in that yet. We've already lost too much in this venture.
He nods. We have lost many as well.
I'm sorry for your losses. This is new to us. We have not had a rose fall before.
Aki just kind of looks at the back of your head. Bethany was killed in the incident with the fire giants. She was a member of the Roses. Grace died there too, but I
Yes,
don't
she
believe
was.
she was a member.
Or after.
Was that before or after? I'm trying to remember. Yeah.
It happened while you guys were off dealing with running into the Galen's activity in
Oh, yeah.
Laskin.
Pin. I think it was before the pin.
Yeah.
I don't think she had the pin when she died.
Yeah, but she was still a Rose. She was on the ledger. So I looked at it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so. That's right. Second rose.
See, I remember because that was basically where I left off.
I've forgotten about Bethany. So that makes 2 that we have lost in this venture. Assisting you.
He kind of looks at you in turn and says, "Because of the dragon and her machinations, we lost a bunch on the council when they were convinced to attack you. That is what I come to understand. Am I showing ire at you for having to defend yourself and killing members of my court?
Apologies.
You talk to me about your losses on my behalf. Well, I have also lost many because of the dragon as well.
Sorry, the next time a giant swings a club as a friend of mine, I will.
It is no matter. I do not hold you in anything. You saved my life. If you do not wish to assist with us, just do not come to me with excuses as to why you're not wishing to assist." Then just kind of waves his hand.
Excuses.
He's kind of being dismissive of you at this point.
We're
Oh,
done.
right now he's being rude.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Will mumbles under his breath, like, "I remember the first time we had a throwdown in the throne room of a giant."
Phaedra has 20 perception, looks at Will, puts a hand, and looks at the king. Keep us informed of your hunt. If you need our assistance, maybe we'll think about it. But we're done here. Sarissa,
Trista looks back at you.
if you need me, send word like you have. And I appreciate your assistance and your trust. Nods her head.
She nods a
and
bit.
Phaedra walks off.
And
She's
she
done.
pets her hand to her father's shoulder. "I will be right back. I need to assist sending them back wherever they need to go."
Phaedra's done with this shit.
And she, catches up to you guys, which is really easy. It's just a couple of steps for her, and she works
How
to
tough Emma was to drop a bean here.
to escort you. Well, you actually technically have to
she
bury.
Still have time.
You technically
Water
have.
the
Yeah,
rest.
you still have time.
You technically have to bury and water the bean. But
Fair.
Well, Will knows a bit about fertile ground.
she takes and escorts you to the circle again, and looks down at Phaedra. Seems that there's no more need for you to have a transportation directly into our heart. And she holds her hand out. Can I have my conch back, please?
Sure. And she hands it.
Thank you. Now, where shall I send the group of you?
Waterdeep.
As you wish. And with haste, you are no longer in the maelstrom and back in Waterdeep.
Does that mean some time has passed since I left?
It's evening. It's now evening. There's a lot more people at the tavern.
awesome. Hey,
Performance check.
Hey, guys. No.
Question, just a question. How did we get the treasure back?
I'm basically assuming that she brought a couple people to lug the treasure back with you, so the treasure is with you. You're now having to carry the apparatus of Crawlish with you through the streets.
Oh my
So we'll be a while.
Somebody could ride in it, really. I mean, to be fair.
Oh, except I thought you were putting storing some of the treasure in there to help you carry it.
That's true. That's true.
We'll be a bit.
You come back in.
So,
Roll performance check.
no! I don't want to perform for free. Fuck. Okay, so Urk is going to say to evidence. Is it evidence?
It's evidence.
Yep. The octopus.
So you somehow moments to that. Maybe get a couple of gold coins out of it.
I am sure the patrons would be interested in paying you, and I believe there's a policy of free drinks if you are playing.
Hey, 8 feet.
Free drinks.
Oh, free of drinks. Sorry, out of character.
quiet.
Ended up just cutting out a bit. I am sorry that I am cutting out. Or quiet. Anyway. He will go into the corner here, next to the root, to see if he can make a tree dance with him. And he's going to play some Led Zeppelin. Oh. Yeah.
Again.
So, by the time that you guys come in, lugging the apparition of Claus, you hear some impressive metal music being played throughout your tavern.
What the hell is going on in our... Okay. Vader goes inside.
And
Luke isn't a favor of metal. He prefers groovy music.
you see that the music is being played by a dragonborn in the corner, one with a tail, holding a axe that happens to have strings attached to it.
And don't forget, he's got a glamour shirt, so he's also
Yeah,
got,
the
like
and the shirt is shifting in colors.
tails.
Alright. This is new.
Oh, Phaedra, you're...
Okay, Betty.
So... Who...
East. East fell, apparently. I just found out as well. I was not a part of the battle. Oh, I I had a thought. You said that he got eaten entirely, correct? What did?
My assumption. There was no body. Paul should have wanted.
Was there any axe? Where is axe? Did anybody grab it?
Either the Kraken ate it, Aki pipes up, or it is now down at the bottom of the ocean.
I would have liked to hang it over the bar.
You also notice that there's a short-haired winter Eladrin woman at the bar that you haven't seen before.
Cocks an eyebrow at the winner Eladrin.
Since Eladrin are incredibly rare in Faerun,
Yeah.
she stands out compared to all the rest of them.
Looks at Gamel. Looks at
Will mumbles. Oh no, not another one.
Interesting.
Greetings. Fun to see another Aladdin around.
This guy. He kind of whispers to his friend. I keep forgetting her name. God damn it.
Lunisa?
Lunisa, there.
Yes.
You there? Have you seen this guy before? Do you have you seen him around or anything? He kind of looks like one of your people.
He also happens to be wearing a skull mask like yours.
But mine's more fat.
I don't know. Maybe if I hear his name, I'll remember, but I don't think so. We don't know each other. Might be from the other side of the plane. Depends.
He kind of, not like quite shout, but raises his voice. Hey man with the top hat. What's your name, dude?
The octopus also looks at you because the octopus is wearing a top hat.
Oh god damn it! I forgot about the other top hat.
And at that point, Galmil, what is Tiny Tim at the moment?
He is currently still an owl.
At that point, an owl also stands on Gamil's head. It is also wearing a top hat.
What is this top hat?
He certainly seems from where I'm from.
Cinder hops up on the bar.
Hello, stranger?
Got close.
What's
He got
what's up?
close. He will lean in. Maybe inches. Name's Cam.
Okay.
Cam little moon touched.
Yes.
That's what it was. Yes. That's what I got my lively personality.
I kind of like
Yes.
this guy.
He's definitely from where I'm from. That's all I can say.
This dude's fucking rad.
Phaedra. Rhiannon will pop up. Lunisa was saying some interesting things about some happenings in the Feywild. Might actually correlate with some of the issues that we've been having with a certain individual. Looks over at Shiori that we've been trying to chase down. Okay. Oh, okay. Lunisa, Phaedra, kind of raises a hand and waves.
Hey, you're the Phaedra that's not a Fae.
She's clearly a dwarf.
No, dwarf.
Do we want to take this out of the public setting?
Sure.
Yeah, let's everybody make way. Let's go to the war room. We'll talk.
Can my scaly dragon, not dragon friend come along? because he kind of translates stuff to normal for me. I mean, detranslate stuff?
I basically help and not kill.
Oh, well, that's good. Let's not murder people in our tavern. Thanks.
No problem. I got it. I learned that pretty early on. Don't murder people in a tavern.
Murder people in a tavern.
Because then you gotta murder everyone who sees you murder, and then keeps on getting worse.
But hey, we got some free booze out of it. Remember that time? Oh yeah, good times.
Yeah, that was your fault. They saw all the money, and then they were like, they wanted the money, and you weren't like, you didn't want to give them to them, even though they asked, and it was like, why not? And you were like, stab, and I was like, okay, not my fault,
Because they
This
didn't
seems
pay
like
my
fun
gig.
people.
I guess. I mean, you said it was okay, so you know these things better than I do.
I mean,
Anyway,
sleazy.
I overheard like a conversation earlier that you guys were like looking for a man that made stuff explode, or sort of summoned demons or something like. Right?
Yes.
Do you happen to know? Would you happen to know where he is?
Well, if we knew where he was, we'd honestly be going off to kill him.
Hey, that's what those other guys said.
Yeah, we would have, as I said, we would have. We wouldn't be here. We would be over where he is if we knew where he was.
Fair. I was just hoping I could find him.
By the way, as you guys are, chatting about this, you start noticing that there are stockings hanging above off the fireplace.
Is the big cat here as well?
No, the big cat's in the other room.
Oh.
And they each have everybody's name on it. And they're pretty big.
What's-
Except for us, you know.
The sock over there is too big for me.
Yeah,
No,
what-
no,
The
what-
sock is bigger than
Except for Will's. Will's is like appropriately sized.
Oh,
We're-
I see. I get less.
Finally, some fun decorations up in here. Finally.
Why was I just picturing a sock
Well-
that Will could just fit in?
From Lunissa's point of view, it's like this kind of reminds her of some of the decor that she's seen in certain winter kingdoms, especially the one belonging to a winter king known as Santa Claus, and it's rather refreshing to see decorations belonging to a winter kingdom here.
At least this seems cozy.
It almost Christmas.
I like this.
There's no
one.
such thing as Christmas here. It's called midwinter.
Which is basically Christmas, right?
Yes, but it's not widely separated. It's kind of like, bits and pieces, but it's basically starting to grow in it's going to be starting to grow in popularity, especially now that there's an actual Santa Claus in town.
Oh. I the fuck was that noise?
Yes, getting hit by a truck.
I dodged another one. You'll never catch me.
Sorry about the noise.
No worries.
Oh, it was from Rick's side. I should have known.
Yeah, cars going by,
And trucks. Don't forget, trucks like to
Yeah.
kick that.
and I'm literally
Yeah.
have a window to the
Outside.
street, so yeah,
So,
they could be quite loud.
question. Do you guys need some extra hand on this? Or what is your plan, actually?
Well,
Do you
we're
guys
trying.
have
Do we have a plan? It's a real good question.
Do we ever have a plan? Biddy says.
Mm,
I have a plan.
oh.
I don't think it's relevant to this one though, but I do have a plan.
Oh. Oh.
I mean, you just need to find this location, then go there, stabby stab.
Easier said than done when he
I mean, I don't know where he
location
is.
is largely unknown.
I was looking for people who might know. You people know something.
What we do know is that he has been moving from plane to plane, stealing knowledge and causing people to forget things.
So what? He's like stealing books.
No,
Memories.
memories. Thank you.
Oh shit, that sounds.
That's what happened to me.
Oh,
I think.
That doesn't sound like fun.
I mean, I don't remember a good portion of the adventures that I apparently went through with the Iron Roses. Luckily, Phaedra caught me back up to speed.
that's why you need a bod to recreate the memories. You know.
We had a bard.
Oh, where is he then? Kind of just gives a little smirk. Where is he?
Phaedra kind of hangs her head. I don't know if Logan's coming back.
Would I have heard of Logan?
Roll a history check.
Oh boy.
Is history now? Wow.
History. Oh,
Yeah. What a time to get double 20s.
Of course.
No, that is
Look, that's not a surprise. It's Logan. Of
It's
course
Logan,
it is
yeah.
Logan.
Oh my god.
Roll 20 is agreeing with me on the fact that Logan was
Is
famous
this the
as
building where Logan lived for a while?
Yes. Yes, you've heard of Logan. Logan Keene. That he actually had vanished for a few months and then reappeared in Neverwinter, doing concerts. And recently, as of a few days last week, you started hearing rumors that he was down making trouble in the yawning portal and insulting guards. And that was the last you've heard of Logan Keene. You don't know where he is now.
Well, if I may speak my mind, I actually kind of liked that guy's musics when he music's. I actually kind of liked his music when he started out, but I don't know about his recent albums or gigs. They've been kind of. Also, apparently, he's been going on a drunk bender or shit. Pissing off people.
I was just giggling.
Oh crap.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Bullshit! Don't worry about it. You hear dice and then oh crap!
Yeah, you did not say do not worry about it when you go.
Will cast
You do this. And say,
I'm gonna
oh
make
crap.
it.
You did not say don't worry about it.
Can I insight check the DM?
Yeah, I would love to inside check the DM too.
I'm
Because I
gonna
know
make
that's...
No. It's just that it's just I was debating something about right now, and I said, okay, only if I hit this percentile, and unfortunately I did, and I'm like, oh crap, now I'm gonna have to do it. Okay, so
Logan's in jail.
no. As you guys are sitting there chatting, and you started talking about Logan, but there was this weird sensation that started filling certain members of the party when you were mentioning, like, memory loss and all that. This weird sensation, like there was somebody else in the room, but then the conversation started veering off towards bards and talking about Logan, and finally, let's see, who has the highest passive perceptions right now?
27.
Oh
27. Wow. Well, see, in this case, Lunissa, you have no idea that this person that's sitting there at the table with you doesn't belong because you don't know these people whatsoever. I'm going to put it on the people that actually know in character that there's a particular person at this table that's not belong. So, who has the highest percentile of the Iron Roses?
Phaedra's got 20.
15.
What? Passive?
Passive,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Will has 23.
That's
Ooh.
So, Will, it suddenly occurred to you that for the last several minutes, listening into your conversation, there's been a figure sitting right here that it's basically one of those things of there's almost like a do not look at me sort of thing, or sort of aura around them that you didn't notice them, but you did, if you know what I mean. they're a very colorful figure. They're just kind of sitting there, kind of the chin in their hands. They've got this weird hat on with three dangling little bits on it with little balls at the end. Reminds you of a jester's cap. They're just kind of sitting there with listening in and staring around, and you finally, after several minutes of noticing them out of the corner of your eye, finally consciously take notice of them. Right after they're talking about bards.
Oh,
Lunissa saw them all along, but Lunissa had no idea that this person did not belong here.
I used to look this person in the eyes. Staring him down.
I think it's a her.
Her.
I don't know.
It's-
I have a
It's
pretty good feeling I know who it is.
Yeah,
it's
would Phaedra notice with her 20 that Will staring at an empty chair?
no. You realize that you're staring at a person you've never seen before.
And what do you want to contribute to this conversation? What do you think about Logan and his recent albums?
Oh,
Will, who? Are you...
I really don't know anything about Logan.
Oh, really? Even though he's quite
The
popular.
fuck?
Huda!
And you see, the rest of you kind of start taking notice of this rather androgynous figure, kind of sitting there at the chair with and a cap that jingles as they turn their head and look at the rest of you.
Biddy had his sword drawn immediately.
Oh, no need for that.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Well, I guess it depends on who you ask. Oh, some people recently decided to start calling me Claire. I'll go by Claire. Hi.
Hey Claire, nice to meet you.
Hey, little
I want a
Claire.
better answer.
And the
than
figure has has the jester hat is got these the three things going off of it. One side one part pink, one part blue, hanging down. They have a long blonde ponytail that's covered in little beads and crystals that are also pink and blue in colors. They're wearing feathery earrings that are pink in color and have this weird eyeliner that's like this one pink stripe and one blue stripe that's at weird angles, and a red slashed mouth, with the rest of their skin looking like it's almost powdered powdered white. However, the rest of their clothes keep shifting in color every time you look away, in all sorts of weird patterns. More so than Eric's clothing.
I'm gonna stick out my hand and try to shake its hand.
Claire reaches out and shakes back quickly. Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt. Just go on, keep talking.
No, what are you
No.
doing here?
Yes.
Oh.
That.
How'd you
Well-
get here?
Well,
And why are you here?
I've been here. I've been watching you.
That isn't creepy.
I still
Not at
have
all.
my rapiers.
I mean, how would you feel if I
Pointed.
walked around not being noticed and watched you? Wait, oh, hold on.
Oh, little invisible gnome, you do that all the time. I know you do.
I want a straight answer.
Oh, me? I guess it depends on who you ask.
We're asking you. What are you?
We're asking you
I'm
what are,
something that was created.
Created by who?
by.
And she pauses. She, he, it, they pause for a moment, thinking, that's a bit harder to explain.
Well, you better bloody figure out how to explain it.
If I were to ask Galen who you were, who are you?
Oh, he'd know. He'd probably still call me.
No, would he?
He'd probably still call me
He-
call me Project 86.
Project
gets into an
86.
But he gets very much
Interesting.
ready to fight.
He raises his
Can I-
staff
Aki's
and
just
into that.
staring.
Adler,
Could I-
it's
Excuse me. Excuse me. Galen is the big bad, right?
Yep.
You guys haven't told Louisa
Nope.
Louisa about it, so
Lunissa.
is reaction to hearing that name?
Ark? Bad? Question mark?
Galen,
At all
bad.
points?
Yes.
But this person bad.
Me?
If
Yeah.
Yeah, bad?
Depends.
Probably.
I don't know.
What are you
You're
doing
not-
here? Why are you
I'm
watching
gonna-
us? What are you doing here? Get
Well,
what?
I kind of. Well, I wanted to go back and look at things. I can't say too much. Not while they gesture over towards Aki. Is still here. It might cause some problems. And Aki just kind of raises both eyebrows immediately. What?
I pointed Aki bad too?
No, he's
No.
fine. Continue.
you better
Kind of.
get to answering our questions properly.
Aki kind of stands up. I'm going to guess that they won't answer as long as I'm standing here. I will
Why?
be back.
Aki, what the hell? What is with you?
Aki shrugs. I need to get some answers of my own.
Oh my god.
Bye, Pinkhead, dude.
He actually had red hair.
With a funny hat on it.
Oh, do you like my hat?
It's like, now speak.
Okay, so yeah, he's gone. That's good. Hopefully he will not be hanging around this plane too longer, because that can cause problems, big problems. And if that happens, well, yeah, it's also a good idea if Galen
Hurry
doesn't see
up
him.
and explain.
Yeah, the doctor would not be very happy if he saw him and realized. But of course he can't find him. Doesn't realize he's here.
Listen here, you intruder. We want answers now.
Answers. Everyone always wants answers. Are you asking the right questions?
Could we have a question then?
Ooh, yes, that's a good one. What's your favorite food?
Oh, for fucking
I am
hell.
not playing this game with you.
Rainbow fruits.
I like steak.
Question. Are you a fae?
No.
Good.
Are you evil?
I answered the question.
Evil?
I said rainbow fruit. Where is the bad man I want to kill?
That would be hard.
Heart?
I don't know where
Is
he
that
is, but I know what he's been up to. He broke someone out of prison.
Broke somebody out of prison.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Which
say.
one?
Who?
The only prison that matters. Oh, you would
And
have
that is
Who's
who?
that?
you would have never heard of them because nobody that goes into there ever gets remembered.
Try me.
They get them.
Try
Come on,
me.
give us
What
a
is-
little bit. Payment. What's his name?
Oh, not a him, a her.
Oh,
Go on. Name, now.
Her name is, well, I know it because, well, I got stuck there, not because of anything bad I did once. It's because they were trying to get rid of me at the time. Well, no, her name is Entropy. It's really bad that she was pulled out. But I guess that's once he was unable to get certain components that he was after, I guess he decided that she was the best thing to find after that.
What does this entropy look like?
Oh, you wouldn't have seen her. No. She, if she came, if she was actually here,
Try
that would be
me.
bad. Oh,
Try me.
and if she wouldn't have been here yet, because it just happened now. He just barely got her out.
What
wait.
does
What plane?
entropy... Nope.
Oh, nope. Okay, I'm sorry.
What does entropy look like?
She's a dragon of sorts. Some would refer to her as the first void dragon.
Oh, shit. Right.
So where do we find them to be?
Oh, I'm sure he has her.
He as in Galen?
Oh yeah, it's the doctor. Dr.
The
Cole.
doctor.
The doctor?
Dr. Cole?
That's how I knew him. Or professor, rather, since, well,
Why are you here?
oh,
Yes, why are you here?
well, I kind of felt one of the ripples and wanted to go back and look at it, and then you guys came here, and I followed. Decided to come here, and then you suddenly noticed me.
Why did you want to look at the ripple?
Well, I
What
was
ripple did you want to look at?
trying to figure out who got pulled into carcer this time. Apparently, it was some members of the Kraken cult.
Oh.
Yeah, the doctor, professor, but whatever the best name for him is, he was using that as a way to break in
Break in where?
to the prison.
Wait, he already did that? I thought.
That was how
No.
I got in. Get the entry out. It just-
Oh.
So
Okay.
he pulled them in and then
No,
pulled her
he
out.
tricked them in. That's what I imagine.
Tricked them in.
And
and
he's not.
pulled
They're not
her
the only one. He tricked some other people up in Luskin. I believe it's called here. And then there was, of course, that other person. But I don't know. I'm only
That
following the
other
threads. Only
You're
following the
not giving
echoes.
much information for what we.
Oh, well, a lot of people say that and accuse me of that, of being very strange and very vague and very this and that. I have an issue with time, you see. Time doesn't flow
Yes, but
normally
do you-
around
do
me.
you
Why?
have-
Is it because
do
you're
you
running
have
out?
issues with people's names?
No.
Oh, I'm
What?
always
She's
bad
not
with
out.
names.
She's not in time with us.
Okay, there have been enough hints at this point. Phaedra's gonna pull out a thorn coin.
Oh. No.
Slides it on the table.
Wait a second.
Doesn't say a word. Just looking at the
For
figure.
What's that?
for a second.
The figure is not.
Could it be like
But yeah.
The figure is what?
No. The figure. I'm just mumbling. No, don't mind me. No, the figure just looks at it for a moment and just looks.
Earth?
Go ahead. What did you say? What did you say, Irk?
for I mean not saying, but for all the times that we've been to like taverns and kind of did some bad things and thieved a couple of things, would we have come across one of those points?
Roll a 1d100.
Oh boy.
No.
I'm hoping that I read that.
Curious. Claire? Is that
Mhm.
what you Claire.
That's what they called me
this-
recently.
I'm sure you go by many names. Smiles.
Only a few. I've been called a few different things in my time.
So this void dragon that you speak of,
Mhm.
is it tied to the creation of the Feywild?
Well, that's when she was last seen, along with the Demon Queen. Somehow she must have gotten pulled away. Claire's eyes go white for a moment and tilts head to one side. The bells jingle and the tails of the hat fall to one side, but the hat stays perfectly on her head.
Dude, that's crusty as hell. Should get it washed.
So what's up with that coin? Is this some weird trade?
Oh, it's just a weird dwarven tradition. She picks up the coin and puts it back in her pocket.
Okay,
The beginning of
makes sense.
At the beginning of time, when the Feywild was born, so many warriors lost their lives. Long, long ago, at the beginning, there was a vortex of energies that created the Feywild. But if time were to run back, and someone were to stand there at the vortex of energies, they could take all the energies for themselves, and become a god more powerful than any known. One person took on a brunt of the energies from several that would have become powerful on their own, became a god themselves. This was a long, long time ago. And the figure shakes their head, and the bells jingle, and the eyes just come back to focus.
I'm something to regret, I know. interest you?
Well, I was sitting here all peacefully until you did.
So, what is this guy's little intention? Like, why is he even? I mean, sure, he's trying to find some ripple in time, but is that it? Like, is he going to take? Like, are we in trouble because we are involved with you guys or something?
Probably.
Always.
Probably.
I'm supposed to. I mean, I'm kind of on track at this point.
I mean, being connected to us, you have Galen as your enemy.
Oh boy.
Usually.
The
Perfect.
figure kind of leans forward and tilts, steeples the fingers. If you leave on the track that you're going now, none of you will meet Galen again in your lifetimes. If you just sit back and do nothing at this point, none of you will meet Galen again in your lifetimes, even if you die of old age.
We
Oh,
We are not sitting back.
we are
We
not
will-
sitting back. Right, Betty.
so we have like an abundance of time. At least like I don't know. How long
Well-
do you guys live?
Hmm.
How does one find someone who hides even from a god?
Therein lies the question. And the figure reaches over and taps Galmil on the nose. You are quite smart there.
Well,
Do you have the answer?
yeah,
Well,
that's fine.
times and ripples and all sorts of things. Unfortunately, the professor is always seems to change things, change potentialities.
Does the professor care about you?
Oh no. He does not.
Is there anyone the professor cares about?
That's a good question. You see, if you look back to the beginning, when the professor was simply the professor instead of all the people he is now, well, then you would say that he cared about his daughter. But she accidentally fell into a time warp and got sent into the future, and he didn't thought she was dead. He was quite upset.
His daughter. Who is
daughter?
that?
You wouldn't know her. She's in another world, and she hasn't.
I mean,
That's not what I asked.
And she's
Who
still
is his
and
daughter?
she's still in the time warp at the moment, from your perspective, anyway.
that's not what Phaedra asked.
So how do we get there?
No. Wait.
No.
Daughter.
Do not change the subject yet. Name. Well, who is the daughter?
Her name's Cassandra. She's a doctor as well. She was
For
very
finally
heavily
actually
involved in
answering properly.
things,
Hey, Phaedra,
Yeah,
but
well,
she is elsewhere.
what was our next point on the agenda?
wait a second. Wait, whoa, hold the phone.
What?
The Giants were supposed to help us with the God issue.
I don't know. Apparently,
The Giants were supposed to help us with the God issue, and all they gave us treasure? That is why we went there. And we got no answers from them or since regarding what was going on with the gods.
let's go get them.
Oh, I imagine they don't know any more
Themselves
than
were the
more than
authority. Yeah, they don't know
else.
shit.
Great. So we lost somebody in our party, and we didn't get any further information for why we went there. Good. Great.
Fair, we're doing quite the impossible task.
I'm just frustrated, Will.
We all are, Phaedra. But he says.
Yeah.
No mortal should have to deal with gods. They're annoying.
Where is Rhiannon? Rhiannon is downstairs drinking, apparently. I'm like, where is she? There she.
I mean, technically speaking, that's her character in a way.
Yeah, that's true. So I guess she drunkenly stumbles up the stairs.
It's that girl.
Claire,
Yes?
are you friends with Galen?
No, I'm not friends with the professor.
Do you happen to know where the other of his pets experiment thingies went?
Mm, plenty that survived the long ago war ended up in that prison. Not because we did anything wrong, but, well, the people at the time, the Empress, when she saw the kingdom at the time decided that the experiments were much too dangerous and had us all sent away there to be forgotten.
Was there perhaps like a friend that like was very good at finding stuff?
What do you mean?
Like, was there like one of, and I point at her, it, they, like, who could like, for instance, find Galen?
Oh, no. He made himself invisible even to those who look at things in time.
Question. Why are you giving, why are you...
Why not?
Yeah, yeah, but do you not like him anymore?
Why? I've never liked him. He didn't. Claire gets quiet for a moment. He took what I should have been and made me into something else.
Oh shit. Sorry to hear that, little dude.
So, I got a question again.
Yes?
You said he's made himself visible to those who look for him in time.
Can you repeat that? I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear you, Evil.
You said he made himself invisible to those who look for him in time, essentially.
Claire nods. Yep. Erased himself from history in certain ways.
So to find him, he would have to go out of time.
Mm-hmm.
How does one do that?
Well, you could say I was born with certain attributes of that. That's why I'm not exactly in the same spot at any given time. And which is why I always talk typically in riddles that tend to make people infuriated. And
So, question, are you willing to help us out?
maybe not. I've got other people to help too.
Oh?
I've got some friends. I should go back to them, but of
Yeah.
course, they're in a different time entirely. They're in the future from here.
Oh, sure they are. Your friends.
Does Galen have many friends?
I'd imagine not. He has followers.
Oh, and do you know where they are?
No. They're off scattered about.
I'm pretty sure the question is, do you know what time they are?
Well, let's see. There's ripples of them that were here recently, within the last couple of weeks, I think. I can feel that right off. Something about their signature.
That's... But how do we find these people?
That's a good question. Very good question. They should be easy to find. You probably already know what they look like. Well, not you. And Claire looks over at some of the rest of you. Maybe the rest of you. Well, there was the Dragonborn. The monk. She nearly died, you know. And she's quite angry. She radiates with it, and hunger. She really wishes she was a dragon, not a dragonborn. And then there is the magical ogre who likes to eat the young. He wishes that he was actually a demon, not simply a demonic creature.
Do you know where we can find them?
Oh, I'm sure if you ask around, you'll be able to find them. They do leave a trail, those two. Especially when they try... Oh, well... I am answering your question, and you are not accepting the answer.
You say people.
By asking around. All
Maybe if we find those two, we can like force him to tell us where he is.
Oh, they don't know either.
No.
I mean, I'm
they don't know.
very
They're
good at
worthless.
But it will stop them from attacking you in time.
So they're
Phaedra looks over at Chiori.
so they're already looking for us.
Oh, they know where you are. They already attacked you. But they did it
Yes.
sloppily.
Oh, the stalkers.
Yes.
Yes, those. Oh wait, I don't remember.
So,
Why did they go after Will then?
Well, because I'm such a charming person.
I don't know. Maybe he did something to Galen. Who knows?
Yes.
Oh.
Maybe I did something to Galen.
And
shit.
turn him into a snail.
Out of
Ding ding.
out of question, does that mean Rathal's in trouble?
Probably not, since you're daddy's boy.
Ooh,
come on.
daddy's boy.
But if he finds me again and then, rents me into this time lapse thing, that could be a bad sign.
Okay.
Oh, so good that Lunessa doesn't know about Belfor.
What happens if he kills Peleos? I don't think I can live with myself if that happens.
I have a question.
Yes?
Is there a way we can figure where can we find the information that would be able to help us find
Oh, finding Galen, that's going to be nearly impossible. What you're going to need to do is find
Nearly impossible.
some way of getting ahead of him. And I do have one piece of bait I might be able to part with. But, no, not yet. It'll be a little bit now. Things I can't do until Aki goes home. Yes, unfortunately he can't be here right now.
Aki, go home!
Oh, he's down in the... I don't think he's quite in here. What I mean is he needs to go back to Alaris.
Basically, we have to wait for Aki to go home, and then you can give us this. Great.
So
We-
the door that we made to that place, he can go through there, right?
So Aki just needs to disappear and then we can get our lead?
That doesn't-
No killing, no!
Okay.
Aki just needs to go back to
Back to his home.
Alaris.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure
Time doesn't matter, let's just wait.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Time does not matter.
I would rather not wait.
Well,
me
we
neither.
already know that as long as we don't do anything, Galen won't come for us.
Correct.
And since he's hiding from us through time, then
He's
it is not
not
possible
hiding
to find
from
him.
you. He is hiding from everybody, in a sense.
Yeah, and we are part of everybody, my dear.
Oh, yes. That is very true. And she
So,
reaches over and pats Will on the
he is
head.
hiding from us. I dealt with people like you before. Speaking riddles all you want. There's no sense to things.
You are such a cute old gnome.
So, how do we send him home?
Oh, I am sure he will be able to find his way back.
Ask nicely.
Quick question.
That's
Like when we eventually find Cole, like can we just stab him, or is there like any special thingy?
Oh, he's... Claire just kind of thinks for a moment. How best to describe him? Cole... Do you know about the mirrors?
The things you look in and you see yourself.
Claire points at Phaedra. Yes. You know how there are multiple versions of each of you?
Yes.
No.
Cole is multiple versions of one, different people acting as one person in some ways, organized around a single point version of Cole, of the Professor Cole.
So we need to find that version.
No.
We need to find the point.
Yes,
And
the
unfortunately,
point
there is no way to get to that point because it's on Alaris, and Alaris is in a sense time locked because of the stupid. I hate her sometimes. She is very annoying, and she always interferes with me.
Who's that?
Well, she calls herself the Guardian of Time.
Oh,
She make sure that nobody stops her from existing. And so, therefore, she will not allow people to go back in time to that point. Because if that happens, she would never exist, because it would it would alter the ripple that eventually caused her to exist. Therefore, all the things that caused that also caused Galen Cole to be as he is, have to continue, and therefore there's no way to stop him in previous time. You see how that works?
But isn't
Phaedra leans over to Shiori. I'm so lost.
isn't
All we have to
Colin
do is
doing
go
stuff
to
with
Laris.
that?
All we have to do is go to Alaris, kill this god of time.
Oh, she's not a god.
Oh, that makes it simpler. And then just go back in time, because that's just something people do. And then kick Galen's ass.
Sadly, it would cause a paradox on many levels.
Oh, paradox, whatever. It will sort itself out.
How else can we stop him besides doing that?
That is a good question. But, see, that version is the only version you can't go back in time and deal with. There are other versions of him throughout the multiverse and time. Of course, you have to have ways of traveling between different parts of the multiverse and have people willing to assist with time dilation issues. Am I frozen?
No.
Nah.
Okay. I didn't hear anything, and I didn't hear anybody say anything, and my thing looked like it was like in sound. So.
Yes,
Yeah.
and yes, to answer your question, probably killing the different coals would make a difference, because he would lose a part of himself.
And Claire reaches out and taps Will on the nose again.
Okay.
Is that a yes or
But
no?
you're such a cute old gnome. It's hard to resist.
Is it correct
Hmm?
though? Killing Galen, different versions of Galen, does it have any effect?
Well, if you stop them from... If you find a way of locating them in time, and then remove them from before they become part of the... Well, the full Galen.
Galen.
Yes. It will weaken him. And then maybe you'll find some way of dealing with him. Or, of course, you can, take him on eventually and wait until he's finished what he's working on and,
Think of it as, if you spent your life studying the sword, and then... No, not spent your life, sorry, your life's so short. If you spent 100 years studying the sword, and then 100 years studying magic, and then another 100 years studying languages, and then one day after that, you lose those 100 years. That's what she's talking about.
Claire nods rapidly. Yes, in a way. Also, if you were to be cut in two right now, you would just die. You would need to be either resurrected or pass on gracefully to wherever somebody goes. If you could cut down a mortal version of him, you're simply cutting down one of them. And he would continue to have all of his others at his disposal to turn into.
Let's make sure we cut down the healthy one.
Oh, there are several.
Rhiannon will pipe up. I do remember some information getting about Galen. There are apparently 3 versions of him, if I remember correctly.
At least.
One of light, one of shadow, and something else. I thought that it was actually Lograth was a version of it. Of him. But apparently it
Lograth?
wasn't.
Who's that?
Oh,
Oh boy.
Dark Prince.
Dark Prince.
Oh,
Annoying
I
person,
have heard
don't
that name.
mind.
Oh,
Oh,
by the
Matthew.
way, Shiori,
Yes.
apparently Lograth was a what byproduct? No, he's involved in Galen somehow. Might have some answers too.
Let's see. Dark Prince, Dark Prince, Dark Prince. Don't think he's involved with that. No, 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 no. Dark Prince's story is intersected with that and that and yes, oh yes, the first of the trader dragons lich creations. There we go. I knew I'd heard that name before.
You've given a lot of riddles.
A lot of headaches.
I just got here, so I don't know what all y'all been talking about, but this roundabout has been interesting to observe. But I'm curious, being familiar with just talking about time, the Raven Queen told me one who is more time might have some sort of information as to...
I think I missed part of what you said, Shuttle. You said the Raven Queen,
okay.
then blank.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think it cut off on you, and I was like
Okay.
trying to work out what you were saying, and I suddenly realized that whatever word you said was germane
most
to...
important.
Yes.
Yeah, one
Sorry.
of the important word.
What did you hear? I don't know where I cut off.
I just heard Raven Queen and blank.
Oh, okay, gotcha. The Raven Queen told me that somebody who is knowledgeable about time might have some answers to what is going on with my god. The gods.
Oh. And Claire claps her hands together. Oh. And she looks straight at Rhiannon. Oh yes, I can see it clearly. There's two of you overlaid, and one of them is not right, and the other one isn't. Ooh, cleric and a
Yeah.
monk. Not.
May I
Ooh.
take a guess?
Guess. Go ahead.
Is Rhiannon's god in prison?
Oh no.
Ah, darn it. I thought I was figuring this out.
No, but I'm thinking that you have been entangled with another version of you. So, like Galen, there's two of you, but one of you.
Wait, like Galen?
Yes. Somehow you've been twisted around yourself. I think he keeps doing this. He's doing this to other people because he did this to himself.
He did this to me.
Yes. And he used the cleric part of you to somehow trace back to your god and cut off communication. That's what I'm seeing here. Yes.
So you're telling me I made my god lost, is what you're saying?
What?
He used my power to...
Oh! Don't do that! And Claire comes around, jumps off up from the table and wraps Rhiannon in a hug and holds her close. No! Don't say that. You didn't do anything. You didn't do anything wrong. No. The professor is an evil man. Do not. If he did something, that was on him, not on you.
Okay. I think I need more to drink. I don't understand what is going on, and it just seems like we haven't gotten any answers. I'm gonna go back downstairs. She's gonna go back down to drink.
Yeah, Claire lets you go.
There goes both of the Rhiannons.
So,
Can we undo that?
Maybe. There are something on Alaris that might be able to help, if it can be found. I've been looking for it too, but I don't know where it is. It's another thing, I can't quite see it because it's so connected to me.
I have a question then. If we could find that thing and undo what was done to Rhiannon, and that's the same thing
It
done
might
to
be on
Galen,
Alaris. Go ahead. Maybe.
I'm saying, could we undo what Galen did to himself?
Maybe.
Would that make him weaker?
I imagine so.
Well, wait. Let's think about this. So this object that you speak of, it can. Does it undo what was done, or does it combine all the pieces into one?
Well, there are several
One
stones,
and the
so
same.
to speak, that were used when I was made. The professor had use of them back in the day. They're each alone is incredibly dangerous, but he doesn't have hold of them now, thankfully. I believe they were last on Alaris, though I'm not entirely sure. I mean, things have happened to Alaris over the years, and there's no telling where they might have ended up now. They might be on Alaris, they might be elsewhere, who knows. But the one that I'm thinking specifically going on to this is probably the Sunderstone. It has the ability to, at its most extreme use, it can be used to separate a soul and a spirit, which are usually considered by most to be the same thing. But
Claire,
what? Yes?
what do these stones look like?
Well, these stones are they're usually about fist-sized. Different colors,
They
Depending.
wouldn't be something, say, small and
Oh,
able
no.
to be put
They're,
into
they're
a
not the
ring?
gate. They're not the gate stones. No.
Oh, you know about that. Great.
Oh, of course I do.
Awesome.
I have one.
Excuse me? Leans forward.
What did you just say?
I took it from the Storm King when you were all distracted.
Oh.
I have my ways.
That's fun.
I'm trying to understand you as a being. Do you see everything that has been and will be?
Sometimes it really depends on if I experience it or not.
Oh.
There are so many twisted possibilities. Sometimes it's hard to tell where I am at any given time. Sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't.
Oh. Well, I'm just gonna walk off and go out in town and see if I see anything. Goodbye.
No, but the
Okay.
I turn invisible.
the Sunderst. Yeah, this is why I was like, oh god, when I rolled up the thing to say, yeah, Jester's, sorry, or Claire is there. I used to, 20 years ago I called them Jester, but it's like, yeah, that's not what another party called them, so I still think of them that way. But, but yeah, Claire was sitting there, so I made the roll for that to see if Claire had shown up or not, and it's like, yeah, Claire's been sitting there for a while. And I was like, oh god.
So. Yeah, if I have to find a Sunderstone, I will find a way to get to each version of Gale. Well, it's not Gale.
Okay.
Both routes seem impossible. I don't even know where to start.
I have no idea either.
That is just one possibility. Is that another one? Well, yeah. There are others. But, as I said, you don't need to necessarily focus on that now. I mean, if you do sit and do nothing, Galen probably won't show up ever again as far as you guys are concerned. But, yeah, eventually, if no one does anything, he will probably end the bottle universe.
Yeah, so let's not do nothing. We have not been sitting here idly by this entire time, not doing anything. We've been following lead after lead, meeting dead end after dead end,
Oh!
dealing with our own frustration.
Is this Phaedra? Oh, sorry, yeah, since Phaedra's the only one there
Yeah,
at that.
it's Phaedra. She's
Claire,
got
Claire,
like her
Claire
head-
leans over and grabs hold of Phaedra's hand, and just pats it and says, "But you haven't been reaching dead ends. You've been doing a lot of good."
Actually.
Oh no, that's only because you think that you're at a dead end. You're not seeing you're not seeing it for how it is. That's where seeing time comes in handy.
How can we see time?
Oh, you can't. No, 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 no. You have to trust. You have to have faith. You have to believe that what you're doing is going to help you out one day, even if you can't see why right now. Don't be frustrated. Live your life, enjoy yourself, and keep going with your heart, leading with your heart.
Sometimes the heart is wrong. There's a pity.
You are one very confused little elf.
Well, it's not an elf anymore.
Well, no, but he is. Nothing changes
Not a lot
that.
of things anymore.
He just looks like a halfling, just like I look mostly human.
Yes.
Well, technically, I actually am a halfling now.
No, 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 you're still an elf.
Technically, a half.
And she reaches over and pats Biddy on the head.
No. I put away the hand. Do not pat me.
She pats you harder.
Pat you now.
I put a hand away. I'm not gonna let her pat me. I'm not a kid or pet.
Person who whispered me still has to make rolls for that.
Oh god. Why do I feel like it's Galmil?
You don't know.
Just a
Oh,
reminder,
you'll find out.
Chris,
It's Gamma
I
Rogue.
have 27 passive perception, so you better not do anything to me.
Yeah, person who roll that does need to roll stealth. And if you get a 27 or lower, you have to tell Quentin what you're doing. So now you guys know that Quentin was not the one who whispered me.
No shady shit around me.
Oh,
Oh, even Phaedra sees this.
Really?
You have to tell the party.
what is going on?
If Phaedra sees it, and because of that, you've only rolled a 20.
But you can't see it though.
You see that
Yeah,
she sees the displacement. Phaedra sees the displacement of the air. So does the elf. And of course, the Eladrin has no idea Will has a cloak of invisibility. She just sees a weird displacement in the air coming into the room.
He's returning back and getting up behind this person.
Oh no, I have no idea what this thing is. Let me roll a die.
Oh god.
Okay, you're fine. I decide not to insta-stabs on.
That was roll without the
Yep.
thing as well because you didn't use it.
So make your pickpocketing roll.
Oh
Normal.
Yeah.
Normal.
I'm with Will on this. I want something bad to happen to Claire. She's annoying.
no. Hey,
That's kind of mean.
that looks like a good sleight of hand.
Well, I mean,
Seems pretty
if she
friendly.
should have stopped, if Will has the fear that she knows, but if she knows, she would have stopped him.
I mean, Phaedra sees like Will by. I imagine she can't tell he's trying to pick her pocket. Because he's invisible, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But you saw the displacement of air nearby Claire.
Yeah, so she knows Will's in the room, but she has. I mean, she would stop him if she knew what he was doing, but she can't tell that. No way, he's invisible.
Yeah, Will would never do anything.
Ever.
Exactly.
Like that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Except all those times that he did.
Yeah.
Name one.
Didn't you try to pickpocket the fortune teller?
Which one?
The one down in the wow. Wow.
Oh,
What time
yes,
did we get
Grace.
Ralph Fancy Armor that he ended
Grace.
up losing?
yes, I take that.
Yes, I take that.
Oh god, great.
Seeing I'm standing like right next to it, do I see what he is taking?
No, it went invisible as soon as Will took it.
I guess.
Yeah, that's the fun thing about this building.
We'll, I don't know, stand in a corner.
So Claire smiles and says, "Well, I have got to go for now. I need to go back to Alaris in a different time. I think I've helped you as much as I can for now.
About that ring.
Bye!" And
No!
No,
and she vanishes.
I'm going to kill her if I ever find her again.
What?
You mean
What?
when you find her?
What ring are you
Whatever.
talking about? What ring are you talking about?
It's
Yeah.
not.
It's not of importance to Galen yet.
Will be something. Galen will be after her.
Well, you'll have to look underneath of time to find her.
Well, he
That's a rug that's hard to pull.
Isn't
apparently
he
Galen
already
The
hiding?
rug puller.
Hey, Will. What were you
Why are you not?
Hey, Tiny Man, what?
Hearing?
Tiny Man, what
Will.
did you do?
Yeah, what were you doing?
I showed the ring.
And with that, we are ending for today.
I got
Shit.